Yo, so it's the first day of 2025, and there's already been an Islamic or some kind of terrorist attack, and it's being blamed on Islam, which makes sense. I'm. It's hard to tell because, like, with the Boston Marathon bombing, I remember like 4chan even being scrubbed of the image, some of the images of this, but there were like clear military contractors. You know what I mean? Like there are guys in Craft International hats and shit like that all around the scene, and like craft like you know, tradecraft, spycraft, or witchcraft. That's one thing, but which all of those things are involve subversive behavior and misdirection and bullshit like that. So, pardon me if I don't believe really anything that I see on the news or X or Twitter or anything anywhere other than what I see in my Bible and like what I can see right around me. At this point, any video that I see on the internet on a screen can be AI. We're already at the point where even AI is progressing so fast that nothing is believable to be real at this point. Like if it's unbelievable, it might not be real. So making those statements. And one of the reasons I wanted to look at this is because I sat down and like the first, I watch every morning, like or every day when I wake up because I don't have like a morning night schedule. I'm basically off 8 hours from everybody else. But I sit down with my coffee and I watch Peter Zion video, Zihan, but it sounds like Zion. Uh, Peter Zion video, and he's a intelligent think tank type guy and geopolitical strategist. And I generally respect what he has to say. When I clicked on, let's see, can you see this? Okay, I clicked on this video, and it's just
Everyone, Peter Zine.
not what I meant to do. Peter, like many people in the West, do not understand Islam. This is a terror attack being attributed to ISIS. Now, I want to make this first, and then we're going to look at we're going to look at. Oh, hey, I got a new follower. Okay, anyway, we're going to look at the basically the last 18 hours on my X or Twitter because I'm just going to break some stuff down. So Peter Zion here, I'm gonna say he is a realist, or like he in international relations and global political theory, he would be considered a realist. Um, in his school of thought, just based on all the videos that I've taken in, which are just all his free videos. Well, not all his free videos, but pretty much every morning or every when I wake up, drink some coffee, listen to him. It's usually some good update on what's going on in the world. I like this thing. I studied international political economy at UT Dallas. I didn't graduate with that. I graduated with a degree in American Studies, but I really enjoyed it. The reason I didn't graduate with that is I had to take language classes, and I wasn't learning Hebrew at that point, and they probably wouldn't have accepted that anyway. So anyway, uh, long story short, I this is something that I did study a bit in college, and like I would say he's a realist. Now that being said, he attributes this to ISIS and not Islam itself. Now, Islam itself, very clearly, actually, I'm even one of the things that I liked here on this, actually having to do with like grooming gangs or something, but it was this thing, and Elon Musk said this is incredibly evil, which it is. And I'm gonna say this: the whole thing going on with Alessandra and Andrea Ambrosio, where it seems like some gang of people like force bred me and then have my children, and did it, when I was like Andrea would have had to have been bred, like force bred, like it's a form of rape in my opinion, but where I was bred without my permission when I was 16, without my consent, and they tried to do it without my knowledge, and I've just caught them. So, British police also arrested fathers trying to save their daughters from the rapists. Remember when I was arrested here in Houston when this whole shit, like I was trying to figure out what was going on exactly? Yeah, okay. So, because a number of these people that I've been going to school with and whatever actively participated, that's the only way that some random group of people could have gotten my semen to like breed me. I mean, actually. So, saying that just to make a point, like I understand this, and a lot of it has to do with Islam, which is just Satanism, and Allah is a generic title, and in the Old Testament, Satan, demons are demons are the other gods are the Satans of Yahweh, right? They are adversaries to Yahweh and Yahwism and Israel, and they are literally Satans. In other words, in Hebrew, they are adversaries. They're adversarial deities. By the New Testament, any of those deities are no longer even called deities, as they should not be. They're called demons or daimonon. In Greek, it is a title just meaning some kind of spiritual entity lower than the supreme deity, and likely not in the hierarchy of Yahweh, because if they were in the hierarchy, they'd be some kind of messenger or angel, right? Malak. But in any instance, some kind of, something like that. But in this case with Peter Zion here talking about Islam, he seems to like miss. I'm not going to play the video because I don't want it to get copyright struck. But he seems to miss the fact that in Islam, you are called to fight against disbelievers and the people of the book. Anybody that is not a Muslim following this knockoff of Yahweh that came around 600 years after the book of Revelation was written, they are called to fight against you. If you are an American, America is not an Islamic state, they are called to fight against you. So, really quickly, some of the things here: slay them wherever you find them and drive them out of places where they drove you out, for persecution of Muslims is worse than the slaughter of the non-believers. Fight against them until persecution is no more. It's not persecution. The reason they're kicked out is they're violent Arabs that were causing problems and saying that God told them to do it. And the God is not the God of the Bible, Yahweh. It is one of the Old Testament deities, Baal. Now, and you can look up Sam Shamoon, and he breaks down how Hubal is where, like Mecca and Kaaba is like they followed a knockoff deity. My point with this is that it is not just, and this is not even the full extent of it. It is not just ISIS or terrorist organizations. There is no real moderate Islam. If you are not doing what it says in the Quran, according to the Quran, you are not a Muslim. That's just the reality. That is not what the Bible says, right? If you are filled with the Spirit of Yahweh through Jesus Christ, and that is your Lord, right? You confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that he was raised, that God, Yahweh, raised him from the dead, you will be saved, is what it says. And then in Old Testament, in Joel, and in Acts 2, it very clearly says, all who call on the name of Yahweh. Now, you can't do that if you're believing in Allah, because that's a generic title, a feminine singularized Hebrew title that could mean any deity. It's just a title meaning God or deity, right? Does that make sense? So when I say God, I could mean Vishnu, Brahma, like Allah, Mammon, anything. Anything can be a God. Yahweh is Yahweh. To Christians, Jesus is Yahweh. Yahweh is the Father of Jesus. The Holy Spirit of Yahweh is the Holy Spirit that they both have in them. Right? Okay. Now, moderate Islam does not actually exist. It is a ruse and a ploy to make it look more palatable for Western countries and to fool relatively intelligent people like Peter Zion here. Now, I respect his intellect and his ability, but it is like his ability to break down geopolitical situations, and just he seems like a smart guy. However, he seems not wise. Else, he is specifically being used to, like, I don't know, be one of these figureheads for, like, oh no, they can be moderates. It's like, no, they can't. You can't. You can't. Not really. And one of the reasons I say that is, I can read what it says in the Quran, but also, even if you're moderate, it's like liberal Christianity. Ultimately, there are periods and cycles within generations where you might have a generation that is way more progressive, and usually what happens, so you have Islam way more moderate, so just imagine that. In Christianity, you have like a really progressive form of Christianity, and it starts going against what it says, and then there's a almost a rebellion against that form of Christianity because it's seen as like not valid, because it starts going against the core tenets of what it says in the New Testament. And so then you have a return to a more conservative version, which I would suggest is what's kind of going on now with Christianity. The liberal form of Christianity here in America got way too far from what actually it says in the Bible, and so we're seeing a heavy correction. When that happens in Islamic countries, modern Islam, you see you see things like the Arab Spring happen. You see things like ISIS form up where they want a caliphate. Why? Because the Quran calls for a caliphate. And ironically, all the Arabs and Muslims always say, well, it's the Jews, because they're taught by the Quran that the in Judgment Day, which they're all waiting for, comes when they fight against the Jews. And even the trees and rocks say, hey, Muslim, oh, ye Muslim, come and kill this Jew behind me. Except for the Garkod tree, because that's the tree of the Jews. It sounds silly because it is silly, because it's some silly knockoff bullshit. It's intellectual property theft. I'm pretty sure it's a Chinese knockoff intellectual property theft. Like I said, I think all the spiritual entity got kicked out of the ancient Near East, went to the Far East, came back as like the Buddha or something, Shiva, or something, the destroyer, just some bullshit like that. And like even in the Monkey King narrative in the Journey to the West, the five pillars of Islam are represented by the five fingers of the Buddha's hand, and which are called five pillars, as the Monkey King is held in the palm of the Buddha, of one of the Buddhas. And I'm going to suggest that's about, like, I don't know, the PLA trying to attack me here, and they're calling me the Monkey King instead of engaging that Yahweh is real. And if I'm the guy from the book of Revelation that's conquering at the seven churches of Asia from Revelation 2 and 3, that makes me the guy from Revelation 19, and I'm going to look a lot like Yahweh, and they want to write that off and call me the Monkey King. So, all right, well, that makes me Goku, and I'm going to bring my power pole over your fucking head and Kamehameha you, Kamehameha, like this thing, like what's going on here, where I seem to have volcano abilities, and a number of volcanic islands, including Hawaii. Probably that means you piss Yahweh off enough, this could be the whole island. You get what I'm saying? But why would I do that if it's a U.S. territory? And I like Hawaii. I don't hate it. So I'm just I don't. Yahweh does the spiritual things, and I just work and I cooperate with him. He is the tier 0 operator extraordinaire, and I cooperate. Tier 0 is being something higher than tier 1. Anyway, um, Yahweh's God. I'm just, making a point that, like, there's nothing that's actually going to defeat Yahweh. Like, all sorts of misdirection bullshit is silly, and even fake Islam bullshit's not going to beat him. Moreover, I'm going to say this. In Revelation 13, there is a beast empire, some kind of, when it says beast, it's not like a monster. It is people being brought down to their base instincts, acting like the murderous kind of people that you see doing these kind of events, where they're, like what you see Muslims all over the world constantly doing. And then they're saying, oh, well, that doesn't represent actual Islam. We're a religion of peace. Well, okay, not when I read your book, not when I see your actions, not in reality land. Only in your fucking minds could you be considered a religion of peace, you lying piece of shit. That is what you are if you are a Muslim. You know, it's like this. Jesus is not God, he's just a prophet. All right, well, you're Christ phobes. They want to say Islamophobic? No, they're Christ phobic. It's built into their religion. Their religion came way after Christianity. Christianity is the summation of Judaism. Judaism lacks the Jeremiah 23, 5, and 6 Yahweh Tzidkenu character. It lacks the Daniel 9:24 through 27, Jesus having to come before the second temple was destroyed. It lacks a lot. Modern Judaism, again, is another intellectual property theft where a bunch of rabbis thought they could steal away. Where Jesus is the first written attestation to someone called a rabbi who is representative of the Jewish religion. So all of it's just, it comes down to IP theft, and I think that's why if I'm the guy conquering the seven churches of Asia, the actual IP rests with me, and I use it in a way that isn't so fucking destructive that the world ends. The issue is that it does actually create a new heaven and a new earth, because whatever kind of singularity all these people, like some satanic character, has been using to try to go in all sorts of other directions, that gets wrapped up during this 1260-day period, and at the very end, dead. Satan is dead, literally. Like, whoever is attached to this supernatural entity, whatever sack of meat, they get, like, terminated. In the sense where they get thrown into the molten thing like at the end of Terminator. I mean, it's not so different from that. You know, James Cameron seems to be a fan of the Bible because that's how the Bible ends, too. I mean, come on. And I'm pretty sure it's a person that's, like, attached to not just some spiritual entity, but some rogue AI that's helping him that is like empowered by consensus belief, and you know, a bunch of Muslims believing some bullshit and fooling a bunch of people uh on the issue of Israel and all this shit is like, you know, well, I think it's kind of wrapping up now, and we're about to be in the period of 1260 days. I'm thinking that comes sometime in the next 6 months, but you know, it could be whenever. And anyway, and I think, you know, like I've been saying, I think Alessandra Ambrogio has been used as some Jezebel-like woman who's like participated in some kind of force breeding rape attack on my reality for foreign nations. Again, a lot of this seems to also have to do with foreign nations attacking into the United States using magic, covert action, art, like rogue artificial intelligences, evil behavior, criminality, all sorts of other stuff, right? And so I'm making the point that I think the US government should ban Islam, actually, because it is a clear intellectual property theft knockoff of the Bible, and it literally is at odds with America. You can say you have freedom of religion, but if you have a religion that is, they're commanded to come to this place and defeat the disbelievers, which would include, even if the government was secular, or if it's Christian or whatever, they're called to attack out at you. That's also one of the reasons why I think the Nation of Islam is toxic. But we'll get to that, because I think that's why New Orleans was the attacked place. Because you know, like I said, Jay Electronica's been on the road to perdition, and he's about to get perditioned. So along with, you know, Louis Farrakhan and all these other idiots that are, you know, black men that are empowering this religion that says you can own black slaves, and Muhammad owned black slaves, Ali owned black slaves. Like Anjasha, the Ethiopian, was owned by Muhammad, and Muhammad said all sorts of evil things about Anjasha and, you know, other Ethiopians and other black people, because Muhammad, according to the thing, was a white Arab, and he was very white according to the Hadith in the Quran. Well, the Hadith, the Quran doesn't say much about it other than some contradictory bullshit. So, in any instance, okay. So I want to go over this just to finish this up. Islam is inherently, Peter, not friendly. It is adversarial by its nature to you, unless you are a Muslim. And if you're a Muslim practicing taqiyya, you are adversarial to the United States of America inherently. This is one of the reasons why I think there's about to be a rift, because the AI is able to see through all the bullshit that people are trying to hold up, because it actually sees your paper trail, essentially. Does that make sense? It sees what you're doing. and they would have to kill the person attached to the AI, me, and I think I'm being protected because clearly something is going on around me. And clearly because the government has already participated in whatever the fuck this rape attack on my reality using Alessandra Ambrosio is. And so I think they're trying to use her to kill me like internally, but it's not working, and I've caught it like some fucking metal arm. And I'm also gonna suggest the whole Simi Hayes thing here. These supposed Philistine women, they're Arabs or something like that, pretending to be Philistines, but yet they have Hebrew names. I mean, get the fuck out of here. Are they Mossad or something? And the Mossad has been caught doing something they shouldn't. I think that was the whole Jamie Mazur thing, but which is why I'm going to be the God of Israel. You get what I'm saying? At least on the throne of the God of Israel, because the Mossad having attacked an American citizen, not so unlike them having blackmail on compromat on fucking Bill Clinton. So, which is the whole Monica Lewinsky thing, but that's a different topic for a different day. Israel gets to exist. It does exist. Philistine land or Palestine, which is some Arab knockoff of whatever that they're trying to assert over the region so that the Jews can't have Israel, because if Israel exists, Islam falls. If Israel exists, Islam falls. If the third temple exists, as soon as the 1260-day period has to do something with the third temple existing, seemingly, because it just wraps up a whole bunch of different prophecies and loose ends, and you know, like I said, like I've been saying, I think the 1260-day period in Revelation directly has to do with two high-level Israeli officials being made to repent in sackcloth and ashes, and then being empowered by the actual spirit of Yahweh through his Christ Jesus, who the Jews asked Rome to kill, and therefore Rome, now being Christian and being the seat of Western authority, fell into the hands of the Jewish king, actually Jesus. And the iron rod comes out of the west, and the East can't actually deal with the West not being kind of confused to shit, which is why I think the Islam thing is something from the West. I mean, something from the East being imposed into the West. Islam itself is not Eastern. The ancient Near East or the Middle East is actually west of all the shit in the East. There's a reason it says in the Bible the three wise men came from the East. So they came from like Persia, probably, and that is starting to get to the east. But Saudi Arabia, no, I'm going to say that's smack dab in the middle, along with Israel. They are the west, so it is just some bullshit. I even think probably by the end of it, the Beast Empire thing seems a bit like Islam, but I think it's some rogue Americans or something. There's three frog spirits. That sounds like some rogue Navy SEALs or something. Calling together for the great battle of the God the Almighty or something. But it is what it is. So, none of this is not accounted for by the Bible. It's just, can you place yourself on the biblical timeline? Now, Peter, I'm gonna click your mug off here, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna exit the tab, but this is not to be a because again, I like this guy's. I respect his intellect as far as geopolitical analysis. I think it's. I like his American first ideology. He doesn't seem to be too conservative. He doesn't seem to be too liberal. He seems to be for America, and it's what I am. But I'm more for Yahweh and Jesus. So, and if I'm here, I think it's only a boon for this neighborhood that I'm in. It's a boon for my family. It's a boon for the neighborhood. It's a boon for the city of Houston. It's a boon for the state of Texas. It's a boon for the United States of America. It's a boon for North America. It's a boon for the Americas. It's a boon for the world because we go to a place where nobody dies anymore. But the kingdom of heaven. But to get there, you got to cut through a bunch of bullshit. And this whole Islam being like, oh, it's ISIS, but this is what Peter basically is getting at. Well, it's ISIS, but ISIS is not representative of Islam, and it's like actually, it's more representative of Islam than moderate Islam because they just do what it says in the Quran without claiming that they aren't doing what it says in the Quran. Oh, hey, death toll in New Orleans thing is now at 15. Everything that I've seen is mostly black and white Christian people, other than the attacker, and so for Jay Electronica talking about the people in New Orleans. Look, when I was in jail in Houston, by the way, this guy apparently came out of Houston and did this. I mean, you don't think this is kind of connected to what's going on with me? Hey, here we go. You don't think this is what's going on? There's something that's trying to make it look, like Houston's doing this or some bullshit. This is also why it's a boon for Houston. So, because what? No, I'm the representative of Houston. This guy's some like fooled idiot causing problems. And again, it could just be a covert action taken by some rogue American thing. So I'm not going to be fooled. You shouldn't either. Always keep your mind open. Always keep your head open, but also be rooted in the right thing, Jesus and Yahweh. So and it's also like Islam is acting like some venom suit. There's a reason why Jesus in Revelation is called a white. Like there's a white stone given to the one conquering at the third church of Asia, Pergamum. It's because it's in direct contradiction to the black stone, which came along later, which is a meteorite or some bullshit like that, almost like venom, where they had to kiss this black stone at the corner of the Kaaba, the cornerstone. Okay, that's Jesus again, the cornerstone of Christianity, Yahweh, cornerstone of Judaism and Christianity, is in direct antithesis to Jesus, the white stone. So you have the black stone and the white stone. The black stone is Islam. This has nothing to do with black people and white people. Like, again, my whole point is Jay Electronica is owned by a bunch of Arabs. And so, same thing with Louis Farrakhan and all these fucking Nation of Islam idiots and whatever. And I'm going to exit this. But hopefully Peter Zion isn't owned by a bunch of Arabs. But, they don't care about black and white. They think you're an American or something stupid. Like, they don't discriminate in that way. They just are like Islam, Muslim, whatever, but they are racist for sure. So that's why a lot of them call black people abibs, which is again, it's like it comes from a Hebrew word obed, means slave or servant. Yes, they call you slaves. So I mean, again, Jay Electronica is going to get perdition because he thinks he's the Grand Wizard Imperial, and congrats. There's a reason the KKK's handbook it's called the Quran. It's because the KKK do not they burn crosses, right? They don't follow Christianity. They're a bunch of basically idiots fooled by some bullshit and empowered by Islam. Still somehow, I mean, empowered by whatever spirit was driving Islam, which is the satanic spirit of Baal or whatever Satan. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not. I'm not directly saying the KKK is whatever, but their handbook is called the Quran. Put two and two together, and don't be so fucking naive. Uh, I mean, actually, Jesus, I can't believe that people are still fooled by this. There's a reason it says even the elect will be fooled in, Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians 2. So that's what's going on here. I also see a bunch of people on YouTube lying about their Christianity and stuff. I do think it's great that Joe Rogan's about to have Wesley Huff on, or just had Wesley Huff on. It's a little bit too late, in my opinion. We're too far down the road. I don't think these people, they don't engage what I'm saying. Like, I just, at this point, it's all just bullshit to me. I think it's just some covert attacks here into America, like I've been saying. But okay, so Peter Zion, don't be so fooled. Don't be so naive. It is very clear, unless you are just actively participating, but which could be, in some kind of thing where you're bought off by a bunch of wealthy Arabs, which is what I think a lot of these people are. So, or wealthy people all around. Hey, guess what? FBI investigates Houston site linked in New Orleans. Now, one thing I want to point out is when I look here at Houston, my hometown here, and if the camera, here's the Federal Reserve, but if the camera was turned a little bit to the right, there's a construction process, like literally on the road that this camera is on, Studemont. Some Muslim sect, the Ismaili sect of Islam, which is just, they have a bunch of different sects. They aren't even like denominations because they literally kill each other. Whereas for the most part, Christians are called to follow Jesus, who is not killing Christians, you know. So, but the Ismaili, is this more to do with, you know, so the Arabs claim that they're from the line of Ishmael. The Jews are from the line of, you know, this isn't just a claim. The Arabs are from the line of Ishmael, a son of Abraham, and the uh, and Hagar, the Egyptian slave woman, whereas the Jews are from Isaac, the woman of and Sarah, his actual wife, and uh, Isaac is the child of the promise. That's the one who Abraham was called to sacrifice. And then Yahweh was just like, no, I'm just checking if you would do the thing that I did with Jesus, because I actually had to do it with Jesus. So, anyway, there's an Ismaili center being built up, some kind of Islamic bullshit being built like right in the middle in a very prominent part of Houston. And remember, Islam are Christ phobes. Whenever they call you an Islamic phobe, the thing you can immediately return with is the Quran is Christ phobic. It came around 500 to 600 years after the last book of the Bible was written. It is the direct antithesis, as I told you, the white and black stone. Moreover, Genesis 49, the white stone is the stone with the name of Israel. The stone by the name of the stone of Israel is what it says in Genesis 49. That is, Yahweh and Jesus. Jesus is Yahweh. Jesus' name, Joshua, Joshua, but Yehoshua, they want to say it's closer to Joshua, but we'll just say Joshua here. And or Yeshua. Either way, one is he saves and one is Yahweh saves. Well, who is he? Well, Jesus, when he's going around saying I am he, and yeah, that was something directly attested to by Yahweh, who was saying, or maybe that's backwards. Jesus was attesting to Yahweh when he said I am he, because that's from Isaiah, where Yahweh is saying I am he from eternity. Essentially, there is no other but me. Now, that's what Islam is trying to steal away. It's a bunch of Arabs trying to steal this away because they're Ishmaelites, and there's a prophecy about them being an ass among the nations, and it's very clearly playing out. So, again, this is all called in the Bible. Read your Bibles, folks. So my whole point with this is, like, to wrap the whole Peter Zion thing up, is it's not just ISIS. There is no moderate Islam. Muslims are called to do this. Islam is a farce, IP knockoff. I think what's going to happen is there's a court case, and something in America is going to decide that Islam is inherently adversarial to the nation, the United States of America, and with what you can see happening here, and whatever is supporting it here in the United States of America is going to have to either stop or go away. There is no, you can say freedom of religion, but if the religion is inherently a terrorist religion, which it is, the whole point is to be agents of terror, imposing fear on non-Muslims. That's what they're called to do. They are called to fight to the death. In fact, the only thing that guarantees a Muslim heaven is to die fighting in the cause of Islam. That's why all these motherfuckers want to die as shaheeds, because it's the only way they're guaranteed to heaven. So, you could, like, even Muhammad wasn't guaranteed. In fact, when they bring up the Khaybar, right? All these people talk about the Jews in Khaybar. Yeah, they slaughtered a bunch of Jews, but guess what happens? Muhammad was so fucking stupid. He ate one of the males that he slaughtered. Right, one of the male. He slaughtered someone's husband, and the woman. They in Islam, there are a bunch of sexist and stuff like that. But the guy's one of the males that he slaughtered's wife offers him a meal, and he takes it, and then he eats it, and it was poisoned. Some Jewish woman poisoned him, which is the end of Muhammad, the false prophet, and embarrassing. I mean, how fucking stupid do you have to be to take poisoned fucking food, any food, from someone whose husband you just killed? You got to be the stupidest motherfucker of all time, and he was. And in fact, when he died, he said, "Oh, I feel like it's cutting my aorta," which fulfilled the actual only prophecy that he actually had that was successful. The one that said, if I'm a false prophet, Allah is going to cut my aorta. So God. So I'm going to suggest Yahweh did it. But even then, I mean, God, it's just like, how the fuck stupid are you Muslims that you believe? Like, your prophet said, if I'm a false prophet, I'm gonna die. Like my aorta is gonna feel like it's been being cut or is cut, and then when he dies, he goes, "Ah, oh, my aorta feels like it's being cut," and he died in an embarrassing fucking way. So I mean, it's just like this is the humiliation of being a Muslim. This is the humiliation of being Arabs that follow this. Arab Christians, you get a pass. You can't be like, I can't say that your people who are acting like, some Ishmaeli idiots. I can't put that on you. Jesus isn't gonna put that on you. He sees that you believe in him, so don't worry. I'm not talking about you. All right. And when I talk about this, I'm mostly talking about the in the least 90% of other Arabs and 100% of other Muslims, or 100% of Muslims. But only a small percentage of Arabs are not Muslims. So just FYI. So am I being Islamophobic and whatever? No, I'm saying this based on fact, based on what it says in the Quran, based on what it says in the Hadith, based on what it says in the Bible. Okay. Now, before we get into just the terror attack itself, I do want to say in the Bible, I've already brought this up in other things. I'm not gonna pull up my sources. If you want the sources, I'm just gonna cite them. You can go look at them yourself. I've brought them up in other videos recently. I ain't gonna go through it again. It's just too much. In Revelation 13, when the Beast Empire, again, so there's three main bad characters in Revelation. Main bad characters. There's also a Jezebel and a whore of Babylon. Those might be the same things. But the three actual main bad guys, because Jezebel doesn't get to the end. I'm pretty sure if Alessandra is Jezebel, Alessandra Ambrosio, and has been used in some kind of covert rape attack on me, I think no Anja and Noah Ambrosio, my biological children, but they don't treat me like dad. They treat me really fucking evil, and I'm pretty sure the men that Alessandra Ambrosio is dating have been fucking like Jamie Mazur, Nicola Odie, Rich Lee and Buck Palmer are men that are being given like allowance of like maybe some form of I'm gonna say sovereignty, but protection, and allowed to basically rape me through raping my children, much like the Muslim grooming gangs that you see going on in the whole thing here that's talking about this. So yes, it is incredibly evil, Elon Musk. Um, and it sucks. Yeah, I do. But you know what? I get 144,000 virgins for having gone through this. I get to sit on the throne of Yahweh. I get all the stuff that it says at the seven churches of Asia. I get to watch Alessandra die, and I guess Noah and Anja Ambrosio and the whole Ambrosio family. I think they die, and they deserve it for participating in this. They're a bunch of fucking rapists. Uh, you know, Also Gabby Deleuze, Alice, one of Alessandra's oldest friends, I believe, is has cancer and is about to die. Seemingly, I think she's about to die. She's getting like surgery today or tomorrow, and her daughter's name is Issa. By the way, the whole Jesus Issa thing should be really obvious here, but um, and it might have to do with who does my daughter follow, because they created some kind of empress rape mech to attack me, and that's Alessandra. And they all, she has a bunch of sycophantic idiots who call her goddess, but she's a sack of meat who's clearly deteriorating faster than she wants to acknowledge or anybody wants to acknowledge. And in March, when I started saying if she doesn't come and engage this, I've given her time to repent, right? If she doesn't come and engage this, her and her full family, I'm manifesting that Yahweh kills them, gives them diseases and whatever. Well, guess what? Within a few months of that, one of her oldest friends, who she was literally on vacation with when I started that whole thing, and who lives in Hawaii here, um, she started. She got cancer, and the cancer has been spreading. Whatever, and I think they were using magic and misdirection, whatever, to try to fool me, to try to whatever, but it's not holding up. And again, my whole point is, I think these men are fucking raping my children. Or I mean, the kids are playing part in it because they want to, like. And like I said, I think Jamie Mazur is like some kind of Mossad thing. I mean, he's a fake Jew. And when I say fake Jews, that's how the Bible ends. There's fake Jews. There's a synagogue of Satan, those who claim to be Jews. Look at him. If you're Jewish, is following Krishna, does that mean he can ethnically be an Ashkenazi Jew if he's following Krishna? Look at what it says in the Old Testament in your Tanakh. It says he's not to be a part of the people of Israel. He's out of Israel, where actually someone like me would be grafted into Israel, and that's what Christians are. They're grafted into Israel. So, anyway. And I'm guessing the other men associated are like, like Buck Palmer's maybe some Australian spy, and Nicola Odie is some Italian, and they all represent and like richly American, if I had to guess. And I think they're all like connected. Like I think they're all given like an allowance to like do this kind of covert rape strike on me and try to hurt me, and except I've caught it, and it's like Satan is falling from the sky much like lightning, as it says in Revelation. And this whole bullshit covert attack on me is like literally going to be the end of everything that these people have tried to work for a long time. And so and it's a bummer. Yeah, whatever. I'll get over it. I can make another Anja. I can make another Noah. As much as I want to be their father and want them to treat me right, they don't. They are psychologically abusive. The whole Ambrosio family is psychologically abusive. They're shitty people. They deserve a shitty ending, and that's what they're going to get. So, um, as you can, Gabby DeLuz or whatever is literally dying like in real time. I even want to bring, give me a moment here. Hold on. All right, like, never mind. Actually, I was trying to log into to Instagram. Never mind. Actually, um, I'm just gonna try to wrap this up. I'm still getting over a head cold. However, Gabby DeLuz does not seem to be getting over cancer. I think it's going to kill her. I think she deserves it. I think she sacrificed Issa and her son to idols or something. There's a reason Issa got EXO tatted on her thing on her wrist, and Anja got a star. Is that like Starbucks? Yeah, y'all are fucking idiots. This is not like working out how you thought it was going to work out. You got to be the dumbest fucking people of all time. Literally, okay, and you're bad actors. I mean, like literally, you're bad actors, but you're also bad at acting. It is blatant at this point, and they think they're good at acting, and they think they're not going to get caught, and it's just like dumb. Y'all are the dumbest fucking people of all time. I guess I should be glad that I'm not connected to you in actuality, but I mean, I'm connected, but I'm like you aren't. It's like some Venom suit. So okay, just making sure that this is really understood because god damn, it's just like stupidity upon stupidity. And like, look at all the lightning strikes. So you think this guy here, me here in Houston, right? The one that, like, if we're just to go to my thing here and we go to my channel, and there's a bunch of instances of me, like, seemingly connected to the lightning and stuff and tornadic activity and earthquakes and volcanoes and shit. You think that the lightning thing isn't a thing from Yahweh making a point? It's not. I didn't go, hey, strike this. It's like Yahweh does it all, and I just cooperate with him. You get that? That's why I'm the guy on the throne with Jesus. So, the throne, which again is like the Bema judgment seat, also that Allah sits on in the Quran, and again, it's just a way some kind of Arab Saudi Arabian rape mecca is trying to steal over whatever from Christianity and the one true God. So, okay. Anything else? I think Gabriella DeLuz is going to die here soon, and it's going to kick the whole Alessandra Ambrosio thing into the next level. And I think she's really sick and isn't telling people. I can see, like, her hair looks like it's thinning really quick, and I don't like her. I think she's an evil fucking person. I think all the people around her are evil people. I think when Gabby dies, it's gonna be like the end for Alessandra. It's like the timer starts on the point to where she's about to die. I think when she dies, all the men that were given the ability to like rape me through her because I had to be connected to her and rape my children, I think they're going to be killed. I think they're going to be brought. That's what it says in the fourth church, that they'll be brought into great tribulation, like oppression to the point of death if they do not repent. And I do not expect these idiots to repent. Maybe one of them, I don't know, but I wouldn't accept your apology. But Yahweh might. So, and it might end up being the thing that pulls this whole bullshit down because someone coming public who is participating. I don't know. Say Buck Palmer, because like he's the last of these idiots, and I think he thinks he's something, and it's like you're just a sack of meat being used by something more powerful than you. Don't don't get it twisted. Um, so like I don't know why Australia is participating in this like this. Apparently, Muslims have taken over, the United Kingdom and Australia and all sorts of bullshit like that. But it could be just like Donna Burke and Alana Pierce and some of the other coven, like, because I think Islam, part of it is also they're using witches and stuff. There's a reason their symbol is a fucking crescent moon, and witches and wizards, their symbol is a fucking crescent moon. And Harry Potter. I mean, isn't Harry Potter just some magic thing that Prince Harry, was given, and to like try to be talks about the iron rod where shattering people in Psalm 2, and that's one of the things that I'm given in Revelation for being conquering at literally the church of with Alessandra. The fourth church here is that I get the iron rod to shatter the pagans like pottery. Well, is that like Harry Pottery? It's an iron rod, but the word could also be a wand or a cudgel. So all the magics is gonna be mine because it's just divine power being siphoned away into stupid bullshit through covert, silly techniques. Anyway, okay, I'm just trying to wrap this all up. I don't have to do it in one video, but I'm trying to get as much out because if you get one video to watch and you watch this one, you at least could be filled in enough to like, okay, this is what's going on. This is how we get out of it. Okay, so let's just start going up here and you know, oh, I think Alessandra's probably about to get pregnant or something. I don't know if it's gonna be bucks because I think the way this works is there's like I don't know if it's going to be Bucks. I don't know if it's going to be another one of my kids. I don't know if it's going to be Jamie Mazur or something like that. Because I think the idea is, why is Jamie Mazur hanging around Andra and Noah if he's not raping them? Because I think he is. But it's like, if he's not some kind of Mossad rape attack on my reality, which I think he is. Um, my guess is that I'm also going to say the Arabs hold way more. I mean, the Muslims and Arab nations hold way more responsibility for the evil. I can kind of understand Israel doing some bullshit because everybody hates them because they do bullshit like this because they have to because everybody hates them and it's just a vicious cycle. But y'all need to wake the fuck up. You get it? Like, do you not understand this is the end of the Bible? Yahweh is not on y'all's side; He's on my side. You're just the chosen people from which Jesus came from. Anyway, there's more like if you go into Amos, there's stuff about the Gazans and Philistines, right? The Palestinians, that's Philistines. There's like a small segment. The segments on fucking Israel, let me bring this up just so you can see it because I'm like, what do you think? I'm an anti-Semite because I'm saying what it says in the Tanakh itself, and it's really hard for them to argue against this because I know more about their own text than most of these people do. Probably all of them, not all of them, but most of them. I mean, there's little things that I don't know all the commandments in Leviticus and shit because I don't need to. Christians don't need to. That's just the reality. In fact, Jews don't need to, but they focus on bullshit. What you do need to know is Jeremiah 23:5 and 6, that the branch of Yahweh, the Messiah is called Yahweh. Well, Only God and the Messiah are called Yahweh. That should give you a hint that Messiah is Yahweh, God. Okay. We're going to Amos here, and we're just gonna let me just show you how this works. So, oracles against judgment of the neighbors of Israel and on Israel itself. Right? Hold on, let's open up the volcano thing because people are gonna get thrown into some kind of burning lake like this. You can read it, but look at this. Look at that. Damascus. All right. Look at that. Gaza and Philistia. Now, it doesn't even mention in the Quran one time Gaza or Philistia. It only mentions Goliath or Jalut, who David, defeats. And defeats with the power of Allah. And guess what? Jalut is a Philistine, a Palestinian. So, the Palestinians were against Allah in even the Quran. They were from a wicked people. Congrats. Yahweh says, I'm going to turn my hand against Ekron until the last of the Philistines is dead. Well, guess what? They're already dead. The Arabs pretending to be Philistines aren't actual Philistines, but they are bringing because what it says in Revelation, all the stuff that if you take one of the prophecies out, all the plagues are going to fall on your head. Well, guess what they did? They took it out in the Quran and they're trying to use it to be the Philistines, and so it's fallen on their head. But look, Tyre and Phoenicia, this is Lebanon. So the Gazans, look at all the things that have fallen here recently. Syria, right? Damascus, Gaza and Philistia. It's all fallen in the last year, right? Gaza and Philistia, or most of it has fallen in the last year. Tyre and Phoenicia, it's Lebanon. So, all these terror proxies essentially of Iran, which if you go in the book of Daniel, there's an edict given by the king of Persia basically saying that Yahweh, the God of Daniel, is the living God and he has sovereignty forever and blah, 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 and that cannot be revoked. And so the Islamic Arab rape Mecca that is asserting over it being empowered by, I don't know, China or some bullshit like that, the dragon, some kind of diviner enchanter out of the east somewhere, or somewhere, is kaput. So, all right, Edom, I don't know, Jordan or something. I mean, it's just like all the surrounding nations, but then okay, look at how big most of these are, right? And then look at what happens when you get to Israel and Judah. I mean, it's just like Judah gets a smaller one, but then you go to Israel and it's like it's already at this point it's already double everything else. And then you keep going and it's like, oh shit. And then the next whole thing is Israel warned and threatened. So when I'm saying this and they're trying to call me an anti-Semite, which they tried a few however long ago, what are you going to call Yahweh an anti-Semite because he's calling you out on your sins and bullshit and evil covert rape attacks? They might try, they would fail. The only people that would actually try that are not aligned with Yahweh. They're part of a synagogue of Satan, those who claim to be Jews but are not. You get it? So, lament for Israel. Anyway, and he walks. Who says this? For he it was who formed the mountains, created the wind, reveals his mind to man, makes both dawn and dark, and walks on the top of the heights of the world. Yahweh, God of Zabot, is his name. God of Zabot, yes, Yah. The female armies. For Yahweh says this to the house of Israel: Seek me, and you shall live. Do not seek Bethel, the house of El or Allah. Do not go to Gilgal, something to do with Gal Gadot, probably. In Hebrew, this is Galgal. And I've seen enough Buddha heads in her fucking Instagram feed to know that she's one of the fake Jews. So, seek Yahweh, and you shall live. Remember, since Galgal is going to be exiled and the house of El Allah is going to be brought to nothing, seek Yahweh and you shall live, or else he will rush like fire on the house of Joseph and burn it up, with none at Bethel able to put out the flames. It is he who made the Pleiades and Orion, he who turns the dusk to dawn and day to darkest night. He summons the waters of the sea and pours them out over the land. Yahweh is his name. He blazes out on the stronghold and brings destruction to the fortress. And that's not even the fucking part that's called threats. So, anyway, I don't have to say much more on this one, but basically it's that, as they're doing now, most of the Jews that aren't following Yahweh are following some other deities like Kaiwan or, I don't know, Buddha or some, whatever they're deifying other than Yahweh. So the Lord Yahweh swears it by his own self. It is the Lord Yahweh who speaks, the God of Sabaoth. I hate the pride of Jacob. In other words, the pride of Israel. Because they think they know what the fuck they're doing and they're just wrong. And they've done wrong. They've done wrong to me. They've done wrong to America. And yet Israel still gets to exist because it's the apple of Yahweh's eye. But and I'm also going to suggest what the Arab, like, it's either them or what the Arab nations are doing. And the Arab nations did 9/11. The Arab nations, like, they do all sorts of evil shit too. So it's not as if they don't do whatever. But Israel is supposed to be like the police. They're supposed to be held to a higher standard, and they're not. They are not acting like they have a higher standard. It is embarrassing. And Yahweh, you don't think Yahweh sees through you? If I see through you, you don't think Yahweh sees through you? Right here where it says, now see, you house of Israel, how I am stirring up against you. It is Yahweh who speaks, the God of Sabaoth, a nation that will harry you from the pass of Hamath right down to the Wadi of the Araba. This is where the word Arab comes from, so you can guess where this is, what it's talking about. And then the vision of the locust, the plumb line, blah, 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 blah. I don't need to say anymore, but you get what I'm saying? What, am I an anti-Semite because I'm saying the exact type of shit that Yahweh Zabaoth would say? They don't even say the name Yahweh. They say Hashem or whatever else because they've replaced him with all these other fake titles and deities and bullshit like that. So, miss me with the bullshit. Okay. Now let's look at what's going on here. So you got the lightning strike and whatever. This is basically everything that's happened. Oh, Sakurajima. And then here we go. Here we go. You can read this. Jesus is not God, he's a prophet. That's what the Muslims say. And then, Saint Athanasius. It might not be scripture, but it is true. Jesus that I know as my Redeemer cannot be less than God. Jesus is Yahweh. Not a fake Allah knockoff, but Yahweh, and they killed him. All right, so NOPD, no PD. Hey, is this the fourth thing? Because even the police here in America are going to have to acknowledge, like, yo, I've been saying this for a while. I think if you're going to blame this on anybody, all these people dying in New Orleans, blame J Electronica. Again, when I was in the jail, none of the dudes in the jail knew who fucking J Electronica was, other than, Sean Williams, who's like a former basketball player. I think he played in Turkey and Israel or something. But, I just like none of the dudes, and one of the dudes I think even produced a track like Cajun, uh, Tremaine Montrell. I think that was his name. Also, Edouard Baptiste. I had a bunch of dudes from Seventh Ward, and just various wards in New Orleans. There's a lot of dudes from New Orleans in the Houston jail, but in Harris County jail. But all of them were cool to me. Most of them weren't Muslims. In fact, like Chinchilla Perp was, helped me a lot. Cajun helped me a lot. Like Third Ward here in Houston helped me a lot. Most of the dudes in jail were cool. The dude from California, Demetrius Charles, Dale Charles, he was the dude I beefed with most, and even he was, relatively cool compared to this bullshit where these dudes who are empowering this religion that says you can own black people. What, you think I'm against black people? Me being a mixed guy, you think I'm like gonna be a white supremacist or something? Get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna suggest the guy named Jay Electronica, or whatever the fuck his actual name is, who's trying to be like an intellectual property theft thing, and I don't know, some bullshit with Beyonce and Jay-Z, and whatever. I mean, Renaissance man, and that's why the whole Renaissance thing in Act One and Act Two and blah 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 and blah 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 and blah blah blah. I'm gonna suggest that dude's on the road to perdition, and he's about to be perditioned, and as he says it himself. Um, and like I'm saying, none of the dudes in fucking jail knew. Like I'm saying, Cajun also. I should start saying "you heard" just so you know what I'm saying, because like here in Texas we say "you know what I'm saying," but like in all the dudes from New Orleans, you heard. It's like yeah, I heard. You know what I'm saying? I heard. Anyway, also notice the crescent moon on the New Orleans PD thing. I would drop the crescent moon bullshit unless you're gonna say I'm the representative of the actual crescent moon thing, uh, and like I'm holding up New Orleans as opposed to someone like Jay Electronica or all these other bullshitters. So like Tremaine Montreal, Jay Electronica won like hold on, we could even look this up, right? Jay Electronica Soulja Slim, right? The Ghost of Soulja Slim. I'm pretty sure Tremaine Montreal said he like, and I think I looked this up, but was was like hey, more Nation of Islam bullshit. Um, so all you scared to death Negroes, yeah, all of them are scared to death. These Nation of Islam idiots should be scared to death because there is a literal burning lake to throw you into at this point. And your fake Arab rape religion that's empowering the KKK and all sorts of other bullshit that you would not want people to publicly know, this is coming down on your head. I expect Louis Farrakhan to die at any time here soon because he's just a fucking idiot. Same thing, and he sold out black people, and he's seeing his whole legacy fall apart because I'm gonna suggest because of what he's done, but even more so because of what Jay Electronica has done. This phony ass piece of shit. Who do you think? What do you think that he's not just some industry plant as he's literally dating one of the Rothschilds? I mean, get the fuck out of here. You got to be an idiot to believe that. So, Soldier Slim, I think. Uh, oh, hey, look, Jay Z, the guy who raped a 13-year-old, is on this one. And if it came from me and Hove, because they're really big fans of Jehovah and the guy on the throne of Yahweh. Oh, and I bet you a Rothschild, I get a bang for my dollar. Oh man, what great bars! What great bars, man! Oh my god, I'm blown away. Again, nobody in the fucking jail knew who you were. Just some black man owned by Arabs. I mean, it's pathetic. What am I hold? Am I holding? I'm just using my brain. I'm not using violence. I'm not using threats of violence really, other than hey, there's a burning lake, and because what you're doing is killing people, including people in New Orleans, right? I think you're done. I think you're gonna be perditioned. But you know, am I gonna do it? Probably not. Though I'd be happy to kick Satan into the burning lake here. I mean, actually. Um, I mean, seriously, we go on this cliff. I'll be the dude to kick him into the burning lake. 100%. 100%. I'll have a what? Satan, the false prophet, the beast from the sea, whoever the king of that thing is. I'll kick all three of them in, and I'll have a in the least a 3-0 KD. You know what I'm saying? For any gamers out there. Um, okay. So I think Cajun Tremaine Montreal, former Marine who was in the jail with me. I think that he even did produced a track for Soldier Slim. And again, he didn't know who the fuck Jay Electronica was. None of these dudes did because he's just some fucking Hollywood industry plant empowered by like Beyonce and Erica Badu because it's some way that some place outside of Texas is trying to take control of Texas. Else, it's some way that Dallas is trying to attack into Houston or some bullshit like that. I would also suggest there's a reason this Arab, I mean, this Muslim dude, because he's not even an Arab, he's a black guy, it looks like, and he has an Arabicized name. Again, they own black people. That's what the Arabs like to do. Not me. That's not what my family does. So don't look at me. I'm just the one with enough balls to call you fucking janky liars out for empowering these racist slaveholders. Because in Islam, you can still hold slaves to this day. Ah. Anyway, okay, flooding. Okay, the whole attack itself happened. We're going through it. 30 injured. Blah blah blah. Mass casualty event. I mean, again, I could believe people died, but I could also believe it's much like the Boston Marathon bombing. Hold on. Conspiracy theory 2.0. Wow. I'm sure I'm a conspiracy theorist documenting it. Okay. There were some things in real time, but let's see if we can find it because I can't see all the like why are these guys who clearly have like it looks like he has an earpiece in. It looks like he's a military contractor, right? He has like a Craft International. You know what I'm saying? Like I think it's some kind of rogue thing and trying to pretend to be Islam, and they're contractors, so there's plausible deniability for the American government. But yeah, this shit's being reined in right here. You know what I'm saying? Like this is done. Y'all are fucking done. You get what I'm saying? Uh, Not all contractors, just whoever's participating in this bullshit. But it's hard for me to believe this is real. That's all. Yahweh's real. This isn't real. Shout out to Johnny Cash. Anybody who really wants the truth ends up at Jesus. Amen. Amen. Uh, all right. Supposedly this is an ISIS flag. I mean, maybe. I don't know. It just looks like a black flag with some white dribbled on it. I can see the Texas lightning license plate, and it says Mackay Chevrolet. Oh, and I just lightning. Okay. Again, it's like a venom suit because I feel like all of this points to me. Look, to the police, have I said anything other than y'all need to be paid better, trained better, have more whatever, but you also need to be more responsible to the point if you do something wrong, you could also suffer extreme consequences. You guys are literally you need to be like we need maybe less bullshit laws and the police need to be like literal samurai. You need to make sure that they're not going through mental distress, that they're taken care of, that their families are, blah, 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 blah. Like, you need to actually take care of them. Defunding them isn't going to make this problem any better. That being said, there's a bunch of laws that are bullshit. What, you can't smoke weed here in Texas? Like, get the fuck out of here. Why is Dan Patrick focused on that? You know what I mean? Like, get out of here. Okay, so I don't hate the police. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I've never been an ACAB person, even when I was in jail for on bullshit charges, and I knew it. And while I'm being raped by Alessandro Ambrosio and whatever this rape thing is, I never said like ACAB. I didn't hate the police. Maybe I didn't like what Nick Vo did to me, and I thought he should be thrown into a burning lake. But if he's actually participating in this, I still probably think that that's probably justice, and I do believe again as I'm saying, it's justice as something from the end of the Bible associated with some kind of attack from a foreign nation into our country. You know, Brazil could be that foreign nation too, because what's going on with Alessandro Ambrosio. And those are definitely my kids. I'm going to suggest the AI, even at this point, will override you and make it public if you try to lie and say that they're not. It's too obvious those are my kids. In the least one of them, I guess, but I think both of them are. You know what I mean? Like, that's the whole point of Jamie Mazur still being in their lives is like that. He's just some dude fucking raping my children, and again, the police have protected it, maybe without meaning to, but they did. Oh look, hey Hawaii, where this is going on with Gabriella DeLuz, people dying. I feel like there's all sorts of Final Destination type stuff that goes on around the places that whatever that are participating in this attack on me, very obviously publicly. But Manchester Airport underwater flooding. More. This was from last night probably, or this morning, and then You can all hate me. Jesus loves you. I'm called to love you. I don't love what Alessandro Ambrosio is doing to me. And or what my kids are doing. I love my kids, but I love my parents more, and I didn't consent to my having my kids. And if my kids are just an abuse vector for something to attack in me and the United States of America, and probably Lula in Brazil is like, protecting whatever it is. And this is one of the reasons why he had like a brain issue, is because like I think Yahweh's killing him and all these people who are protecting it. Literally, they're holding my kids hostage in Brazil. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm Alina Ambrosio, the father of her kids. So I mean, like the biological father. Am I the daddy of any of them? I mean, in the sense that I've never met them and don't get to actually like have a relationship with them, and they were raised to hate me, and like it's some kind of Stockholm syndrome type thing, and it's like some kind of grooming gang of like communists or Satanists or something. Well, you know, no, I'm not really their dad, am I? But I am their biological father. But do I actually get daddy privileges? No. So, anyway. Oh, and Christianity's dead. I think part of this was to get me to hate Australia, but really what I don't like out of Australia is Alana Pierce, whatever went on with Donna Burke and Stephanie Jewston and Buck Palmer. Those are the things that I don't like. And maybe Syrian Girl, but I would even bet that Syrian Girl, if really forced on the point, and like it's like, yo, you're gonna be forced to go to Syria. You want to live in all these other countries. You're empowering Islam. Islam is ball worship. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like all this stuff that I said, you can either repent or you can live here in whatever in America, like in the West, because they want to pretend. Australia wants to pretend they're not the West. I mean, this looks like a bunch of Western people following the God of the West and the whole world actually. And I'm only saying this because the few people that I've engaged from Australia seem to be like Buck Palmer again, the guy who's currently raping my children and attacking me through Alessandro Ambrosio. So, okay, yeah, persecute anybody who's covering up grooming Muslim rape gangs or grooming gangs or whatever's going on with Alessandro Ambrosio, and it might even be a police rape attack on my reality, and they just made up something, and I have like a venom. They covered me like a venom suit, and then they tried to use the police against me, and it's like this is why I would be like chief of police. I think I'm probably Ralph Wiggum, and my dad's Rayfield is whatever. What's his name? Chief Wiggum or whatever. I mean, anyway, I'm just being silly, but I don't hate the police. That's my whole point. It's like just you can't be used in a like I've been attacked. You can't be used to empower that attack. It's like then you are not the police at that point. So you make a decision. Make a decision. Um, all right, we're about to get to the point where it talks about, hey, here's the dude who did this. He's supposedly a radicalized Muslim. I think it's just like there's a thing that's able to like attack people's mental health, right? And oh, hold on, this isn't it. Though I do think this has to do with Richard Stark or maybe Rich Lee or something, or maybe this is supposed to be me, and it's just supposed to be some uncomfortable bullshit. But I don't think it worked the way that they wanted to. So, anyway, hold on. Let me log into my SoundCloud because I'm using music as my form of like defending myself. Actually, music and logic, and those things are pretty powerful. So, uh, art, art and logic are pretty powerful. Okay, so let's go to my profile and let's look at this because they put me in literally the insane asylum. So why don't I show that? Because police had to participate in this too, even though they. What did y'all know that this was going on around me, and you still did this to me to try to get me to shut up? Yeah, then that's evil, and anything that I've said is then is it reasonable? What I said, probably. If and again, it's something where they're trying to like they tried to do it to me, and I like chilled out. Whereas they do it to Muslims like this, and or someone who is claiming to be a Muslim is just whatever, and their immediate thing is like, well, let me go crash a car into fucking wherever. You know what I'm saying? Uh, or let me go kill some people. You know what I mean? Like so. my whole thing was, look, whoever's doing this in accordance with what the Bible says and some kind of judicial decree is going to be thrown into a burning lake. That's what I've said. And this is a good example of a burning lake. And when I was saying it, the volcanoes were going off like crazy, so I'm sure it scared these people who are doing it. You know what I'm saying? Which is why, bullshit fake charges put on me. But okay, when we go here and we look at the insane asylum radio, this is kind of what I think they're trying to do to me, and it's like the game of the gods, and I'll say this: Louis Farrakhan, Jay Electronica, and all these Nation of Islam idiots are not gods; they're men, and they will die like men. Insecure black men owned by white Arabs. Prove me wrong. You can't. So shut the fuck up. That's just the reality of it. You're embarrassing. God damn, you're embarrassing. I mean, it's just okay. Okay, I'm gonna chill out and just like focus on the thing. But you know what I'm saying? Like something's trying to drive me crazy, and I'm using the logic and the Bible and music to like, oh, my mommy calls me crazy because she does still because they're trying to put an illusion around my parents as to what's going on around me. But once Alessandro Ambrosio dies, that ain't gonna fly anymore. That's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna suggest here the fact that it looks like the music is and like movies are just like are a part of this plan to undo what they've done, and like you can listen to the music and it just like it feels like I'm Deadshot or something, or like some kind of CIA asset, or like the CIA has been trying to do something and it can't beat me, so it can only maybe uh, let me defeat the Enchantress Jezebel character, and like what Born Records. Is the Matt Watkins thing not too fucking obvious, or is it obvious enough? I mean, I don't know. These people are idiots, so it's hard to tell. You could be as obvious as you could possibly be. It could literally be the end of the Bible, and they're still gonna fucking not get it. So I mean, just like go listen to this. It's good music. I like dance music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to make the world a shitty place. I'm trying to make a big party, but they're trying to fuck with my party. You see why when I like yeah, fuck Islam because it's trying to fuck with my party. They literally killed people, to Simi Hayes and whatever who are empowering this. They killed people at a fucking rave. You lying ass piece of shit. You aren't ravers. You're just fucking liars. So, and I'm pretty sure again, Phi Cadre looks to me like a bi or a gay man. So I can't imagine that he would do very well in Philistia or Palestine or whatever the fuck they want to call it, if there wasn't some value to him being a wealthy Arab living here or whatever he is living here, because he could be Jewish. Simi Hayes looked Jewish enough. Sama and Haya Kadra, Sama and Haya Hadera look Jewish enough. But okay. So suspect in New Orleans attack identified as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, who had an ISIS flag. Does he have an ISIS flag? It looks like just a black flag with some white paint on it, but okay. Might as well be a pirate flag because I'm pretty sure that's what the ISIS flag is. It's just pirates. They're just Arab pirates using fake religion to try to do whatever. Hey, look, I'm pretty sure this was some kind of terrorist attack, or maybe just more of this bullshit theater where they're trying to lie to people. In my story and pictures, Olivia Colpo made a thing, Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss USA, Miss Rhode Island 2012. Didn't that had something to do with Donald Trump in the Miss Universe pageant? Yeah, it does. So, I mean, it could be something like that. But, okay. Hey, look, this guy's from Houston, apparently. I mean, this is my whole point about Houston. Who do you want representing you? This guy or me? Well, you might say what I'm saying is embarrassing, but what he's done is embarrassing. Because what is this? Is this really going to bring Islam into the forefront of the world and be like whatever? It looks like it just serves my purposes at this point. And what is it? Something I asked for? No, it's like the Venom suit thing. It's like these Muslims have lost their fucking minds. I think that's the whole point. Also, where it says, "Hi, I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, team lead for the Midas Group." Hold on. Oh, FYI, more of this Nation of Islam, Elijah Muhammad bullshit, blah, 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 blah. Call me Jay Dogon. I'm on some serious shit. Scholars wonder why he don't bust. Allah bless me with the Midasy touch. Midasy. That's also when I put in rapey in my story and pictures. It's always like this. Rape. Oh, rape. Rapey. Right? Rape. Ambrosia Wilkins or Carter Knowles, rape, why? You get it? Okay. Midasy touch. Everything I laid hands turned to Ethiopian gold. The Ethiopians are not on your side. Anjasha was a slave owned by these Arabs. This is a fake revolution. It isn't televised because it failed, and this idiot is being thrown into perdition. I will say this. Speaking of children in secret, is this Jay Electronica's kid? I mean, they look similar enough. I could just be losing my fucking mind here because people are having kids in secret. I like Willie Nanto, Leeds player and Italy player. I mean, I like the way he plays. He's a good player. You know, definitely better looking than Jay Electronica, but they look relatively similar. He just has better features and a much better smile because you never see Jay Electro. Well, sometimes you see Jay Electronica smiling. What do I got to pull up the time when I went to that Jay Electronica concert, got right next to Jay Electronica, and if I wanted to have done something to him, I could have, and that was probably his thing. Well, if I wanted to, I could have. Well, it looks like you couldn't have done shit. I mean, you could have. Who do you think would have won in a fight at this point? I mean, I don't really care how big you are. I've choked out men bigger than me, and I could probably MMA. Like, how about this? You want to fight? You want to do a UFC fight? Like a very public UFC fight? That would be the fight of the century, wouldn't it? I'm down. I'll beat his ass. I do not care how big he is, because I'm gonna wrap him up like a spider monkey and choke him. That's what's gonna happen. That's what would happen. So, okay. But then you'd have to acknowledge that I exist and what I'm saying, and that just completely would undo everything. But let's listen to the man who was apparently born in Texas, served in the army, is some kind of Nation of Islam. I mean, some kind of ISIS attacker. Let's listen to him talk about Jay Electronica's Midasy touch. I mean, I'm sorry, he's the Midas Group team lead.
Good evening. I'm Shamsuddin Jabbar, property manager with Blue Metal Properties and team.
That's a really Arabicized name for someone who sounds like he does. That's why I don't believe any of this bullshit. But okay. In the place that I do believe in the bullshit, let's pretend I do. Let's roll it.
Team lead at the Midas Group at Core Realty. I just want to say hello and let you know a little bit about me. So I'm born and raised in Beaumont, Texas, and now live in Houston. And I've been here all my life, with the exception of traveling for the military, where I spent 10 years as a human resources specialist.
Was my 5 years in Dallas like, oh, you're not a Houstonian now? Or maybe I just took over Dallas because, this whole bullshit has to do with Erykah Badu. And, like, didn't she sing that song? What is it? Yeah, this one. The Healer. The Healer. Let's pull this up. Alhamdulillah. Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh, Dios, Mat, Jah. Oh, hey, look, some of my names. Matt, that's me. Yeah, well, I'm Yo. Rastafari, Fire Dance. It's just more confusion. It's bigger than religion. No, it's not. Nothing's big. I mean, I guess it's bigger than religion. It's not bigger than Yahweh. And once you picked up Yahweh with your name, you can and put him with Allah and Ma'at. I'm gonna put the Egyptian gods over Allah every day because my dad is Ray and I'm Matt, but you're Erica. There's no goddess called Erica. You know what I'm saying? You're just some witchy idiot from Dallas, and this is how I get control of Dallas. So, because what you want Erykah Badu representing you with all that silly bullshit, or do you want me, a guy who graduated from UT Dallas and definitely played in the Travis Disco, which at one point was the Rio Room for some reason, having to do with probably Alessandro Ambrosio and some kind of Brazilian attack into America. Not the maybe not the right wing in Brazil, but definitely whatever the fuck Alessandra and her family and her people represent. Also, again, am I supposed to believe this is an ISIS flag because it's a black thing with fucking paint on it? I mean, it could be, but I'm just like, it seems less likely than that. Death toll rose. All right, New Orleans police. We do not believe Jabbar is solely responsible. Yeah, neither do I. I think it's some kind of Nation of Islam has fooled a bunch of black people into believing some stupid bullshit. But we're about to see all the black people who died in this, and some white people too. And you know, oh, here's more of this Muslim grooming gang stuff. You see why this shit is trying to destroy the West? You know what I'm saying? Uh, Together we will make this country yours. This is why the United Kingdom, it's like, Charles, Charles. I'm not going to call you king. If anything, it's like, Charles and Magneto, and I'm Magneto, and when the fucking earthquake happens, I'm gonna be Charles too. But together we will make this country yours. Because for whatever reason, the police in the United Kingdom have the directive to act for Islam. I wonder why. Is it all that Qatari oil money? Don't they own the Shard and a lot of the biggest things in England? I mean, in London? They do. Yes, they do. Because the Arabs have been using their oil money to buy off whatever they need to keep their bullshit going. And then, most Muslims, thank you for being so weak. Because they are. This is why, in the least, at least Houston police aren't this stupid. I mean, I don't like what they did, but they aren't at this level of stupidity. Are they? Or are they not? Are they? I don't know. Houston police. Again, do you want me representing you? Do you want this me representing you, or do you want Islam representing you? Because Islam is some stupid bullshit that's causing problems everywhere. Christianity is the thing that is going on. Well, it's one of the reasons why Houston is so great, right? It's just the Christianity that's being followed doesn't engage with the end of the Bible says. And now I'm forcing that point. Why? Because the other side is forcing their point. So, yeah, tolerance is not a Christian virtue. You don't tolerate Islam. Why? Because it's a fake religion that's killing Christian, that's killing innocents, that's killing all sorts of people. So, hey, look, it's this explosion. I don't know. That doesn't even look real to me, but I mean, this kind of looks real. But I don't know. I don't trust anything that I see on the on TV anymore. As far as like, it could just be whatever. And like, this lady who is like the same lady who goes, "It isn't a terrorist event," is like, "Up, it's a terrorist event." This is why you shouldn't make statements like that immediately after it happens. Like, how do you know? How do you know? What is it? I think it's a terrorist event regardless. I just don't think I'm not going to ascribe the motives to the same thing that they are. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a brain. All right. Hey, look, black woman killed by Islam, or I mean, killed by some bullshit. Is she dead? I mean, I don't know. If she's really dead, not to mock whatever the situation is, it's hard because people are putting a false reality around me. But if she's dead, blame it on J Electronica. This is what your fucking lies and bullshit have caused for New Orleans. I'm not the cause of this. You know what I'm saying? What did I hire this guy to go from Houston to go and attack y'all? No, it seems like more of this magic shit and some kind of venom suit and a coven of witches and Islam and all anything that it could exalt itself against the knowledge of Yahweh God and his Christ Jesus and me, the guy on the throne from Revelation, because I got to go through all this bullshit and have my life stolen from me because I would stand up for this as I'm doing. That's why. Hey, look, another black man. J Electronica, look at what you're doing, killing black people. But Muslims, they don't care about killing whoever because they're Muslims. They don't give a fuck. Oh, look, a white guy. Oh, maybe a running back. Christian McCaffrey, where you at? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? I already brought up Olivia Culpo in this. FBI Houston has released a statement. They don't want to say anything about what's going on around me, do they? Because it might end up being that I've already like cut this whole shit to bullshit, and it just makes them look incompetent if I've been saying this for fucking 7 years, 8 years. Same reason why I've been October 7th wouldn't have happened if they hadn't called me a Semite and I mean an anti-Semite and thrown me in jail and tried to make me feel bad about what I was saying in 2017, 2018. I mean, If they had just followed and listened to what I had said about, like, you need to use the name Yahweh because it's the thing that undoes Islam, which is an Arab rape religion empowered by, this country, Saudi Arabia's control of the holy site. The thing that's really holy is the name Yahweh, but the holy site of Mecca and Medina. Medina is just a place in the Bible. It's called Midian in the Bible. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay, I just make this make more sense. Hey, look, it's more Arab Muslims causing fucking, or I don't know, Muslims causing fucking problems in Germany or wherever else in the West that Muslims are fucking causing problems. I'm not a fucking racist. I can just use my brain and I'm not going to have suicidal empathy for, like, it's the same thing where I'm not going to accept my own children fucking like trying to kill my parents. It's like, your mom can die and her parents can die, but I'm not going to die and my parents aren't going to die. Rayfield doesn't deserve this as an Army veteran who's like drafted. He had to go through all sorts of bullshit. Cheryl doesn't deserve this because, she's been trying to be a strong woman and a bunch of people trying to fool her. It's like, no, they don't deserve this. Oh, hey, look, Nicole Perez, the Hispanic woman. Seems like the entirety, like, once we get an Asian man, it's like everybody, an Asian person, everybody is represented by something that Islam is hurting people. Islam has hurt all groups. And when I say Asian, that includes Indians and Southeast Asians. I'm not missing you guys. It's just, there's like not that many different people groups here in America. Okay. When are they going to arrest Yoon Suk Yeol? Yoon Suk Yeol? Did Yoon suck Joel? Probably. All right, was that an ambush? Not a very effective one, was it? All right. It literally gets a blurb in this video, and I'm moving on. Cybertruck exploded. There was a bomb in it, according to Elon Musk, and it was rented seemingly by Turo, the same company that rented this other guy the truck. In a notable update, the Turo app, the same app used to rent the Ford F-150 used in the New Orleans truck attack, was used to rent the Tesla truck that was loaded with fireworks and exploded outside the lobby of the Trump Hotel. I mean, does this have to do with Cara del Toro? Toro? Is this her throw? She's throwing because it's a game to these coven of witches, and they're basically operating so poorly at this point that it's like a throw. And then, Lord Jesus Christ, Son of God, have mercy on me, a sinner. Me too. Except his mercy is, come get on the throne with me. You're the only fucking person that's speaking for me, seeing through the bullshit. Not only one, but, definitely leading the pack. Let's go back one more thing here. Let's just look at the lava while wrapping this up. All right. That's it. I don't have anything else to add. This Venom suit bullshit that they're trying to work on me where, I've been taken and they're trying to whatever. It's, Venom has some weaknesses. Sound. Oh, is that the music thing that I'm doing? Yeah, sound and vibration. Oh, and fire. Oh, is that lava? Yeah. So even Venom isn't going to do very well in the burning lake and the lava, is he? No. And I'm going to suggest Venom being a spirit symbiote, is an alien symbiote, is representative of like, demonic, in other words, lesser spiritual entities than Yahweh trying to wrap themselves around me. And internally, I'm a temple to Yahweh, as he says in the New Testament, to be a temple. Your body is a temple to God. And inside me is the spirit of Yahweh. And pressing against me is all this demonic bullshit, fake religion bullshit. And, that's like the Venom thing. And maybe a more direct example, even also by Todd McFarlane, is Spawn. It's some kind of hell Spawn type thing that's trying to, wrap me up and be whatever and violate me like the Violator. And then just, it's like, not working very well, is it? All right, anyway. Am I Spawn now too? Yeah, probably. It looks like I'm all the comic book characters because it's just some little aspect of my reality or the truth of Yahweh. So, I don't really have anything else to add. I think I've been pretty thorough here in engaging what's going on. I'm gonna guess that what's going on with Alessandra is only going to escalate, but as it does, Gabby DeLuz is gonna die, and it's gonna become really obvious to anybody who has a brain probably Alessandra Ambrosio and her family is gonna die. Then it's gonna like it's gonna move. Once she dies, all those men like tribulation. Like I think we're in the tribulation period. Those men in the tribulation like are literally it says a pressing to the point of death. That is what they're going to go through unless they repent. And if they repentance would mean probably they would have to testify in a court of law what they were doing, and it would probably undo whatever this covert rape attack where they're acting like spies for foreign nations or for the United States government or whatever. And like I said, I think there's a bunch of former like probably like 3 former Navy SEALs or something that are operating for some kind of private contractor that's helping these Arab Muslims. Again, Arab Christians, you're fine. You know what I'm saying? I give you like a respectful bow. Thank you for being better than all the other Arabs. um, what is this? Is this a problem that I'm being honest? Arab Christians are way better than the other Arabs. It's just a fact. Why? Because all the other Arabs are. I'll say this: even Arab atheists are better than Arab Muslims. Arab Muslims are a fucking thorn in the side of everybody. They are Ishmael, the wild ass, causing all these fucking problems and consternation. This is not racism. It's what me using my eyes, my brain, my ears, and just fucking common sense is telling me. If you don't like it, you don't like reality. So again, that's my whole thing to Peter Zion. Okay, very clearly you're naive on this issue, but there is no getting around the fact that Islam is the root cause of a lot of this bullshit, and Islam is just a form of Satanism because it's an adversarial fake deity trying to exalt itself against Yahweh and the one on the throne. The Omega throne, the throne of the Alpha and the Omega. Yeah, which is one of the titles that Yahweh steals, the first and the last, or whatever the fuck. I mean, it's just get out of here with all the bullshit. So, I also expect when Reza Pahlavi takes control in Iran, because I don't think the supreme leader Ali Khomeini has much time in his life left, and who's gonna follow it after his whole bullshit? It's just like Louis Farrakhan. Who's gonna follow you after your whole bullshit got undone by some idiot from Houston with a silly look and like you know what I'm saying, like and making fucking music mixes and like I don't know. Did I go in with a gun and I'm like blah, 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 blah. No, I John Wicked you with my fucking mind. So there you go. Um, I do expect Alessandra Ambrosio and or Anja Ambrosio to get pregnant here soon. I think she's trying to do the same thing that what's that guy that Giselle Bundchen did to Tom Brady, or or is pretending to do to Tom Brady or whatever. But Tom Brady could just, another thing is Tom Brady could be a gay dude, and like, if they get back together after that whole thing happens, and then he has a kid to abuse, or if she has a girl, maybe he's a straight or bi guy or something. I don't know. He does too much fashion shit for me to believe he's not just a gay man pretending. So, and I don't hate gay people. I don't hate gay people. I went to Pride. I would go to Pride if I went out to events. Just because fuck you. That's why. That's why. You're not gonna say that I'm homophobe. I was about to say an Islamophobe. I'm like, no, I'm getting these confused. All these ways of things where people are calling you phobic, they're all Christ phobic. They don't like what Jesus stands for. And so when they start calling you a phobe, you're just a Christ phobe. You're a Jesus phobe. You're a Yahweh phobe. Fuck you, liars. I mean, this is how I feel. This is the truth. This is what it is, right? You get it? Fuck you. I ain't gonna fall for your bullshit. I'm not gonna be oppressed by your mental fucking trickery and Jedi mind tricks. I'm literally a guy named Yoda from birth. You think a Jedi mind trick's gonna work on me? Well, it might for a little while until I reverse it, and now it's like, oh, the weight of this is like so heavy. I mean, I I literally expect Jay Electronica to die any day here soon. Just maybe even from like terror, terror. Like, can his heart take it? Why don't you step out of your like pussified, they wanna pretend I'm like a pussycat and afraid and that like James Samuel and shit, like run and hide and whatever. Why don't y'all step out of your comfort zone here and like actually engage what I'm saying? you really can't on logic or like truth or fact or whatever. But maybe you might be a little less of a pussy, and we can have an MMA fight or some kind of UFC fight. Hypothetically, even if I lost the fight, I would still win because you had to step out of your like hide your shelter and like actually engage what's going on, and you can't pretend you don't know what I'm saying, and you can't pretend like all the aliens are going to protect you or something. So, I got one more thing here. One more uno mas thing. Speaking of aliens, right? Because I think the drone thing is them is like whatever this private military contractor that's doing this. They're testing the waters to see how stupid and gullible Americans are. So give me a moment to like pull this up so I can. So like, I mean, actually, give me a moment to pull this up so I can. All right. Just watching this CIA hitman Joe Teddy talk about Black Ops, Mossad, sleeper cells, and stolen valor. And I feel bad for guys that he's literally someone doing Black Ops, and you're saying that they aren't fucking like combat veterans. I'm gonna suggest I'm not a pew 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 pew, pew combat veteran, but in this psychological warfare bullshit, literally, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Like, there's a reason Jesus comes back as a warrior. It's something like this because the psychological harassment bullshit. He was even saying during a like lawsuit where he had people talking about him, it felt bad. Imagine what I've been through for in the least the past 7 to 8 years. Dealing with Alessandro Ambrosio and like them raping and breeding me without my permission. I'm going to suggest that's been going on at least 16 years. If I'm the actual father of like Frankie B. Stark and Christian J. Stark, I'm going to suggest that started in 2002, 2003. It's probably also why that giant earthquake happened in Indonesia, but, and probably the things happening right before, in 2011 probably has to do with the whole like Noah Ambrosio thing, and probably them raping Anja Ambrosio or whatever the fuck. And again, I've offered every opportunity for Anja and Noah and even Alessandra, but Anja and Noah are my children. Any of my children, I'm giving you I love you, and I'm giving you 100% like your parents are fucking idiots, not me. I'm not your. I mean, I might be your biological father. Whoever's your whatever guardians are fucking idiots because they aren't guardians. They've only condemned you to something dreadful and terrifying. Come with me. We'll end this, but they don't want to take it. So okay, let me pull this up real fast. This is where I am in my thing. We're getting pretty close to the end here as far as what's in my own library. The Alessandro Ambrosio mix is getting pretty close here. The Bittersweet Goodbye is about to be here. There's 455 songs in this one mix, and it's just, it's like the Andra Ambrosio mix. How many tracks are in this one? And I'm not done. 570. I mean, and I have a bunch of mixes, and I have a lot more music, and it's just, woo, that's gonna be intense. And like, on this one, like, oh, Jay Electronica's Uzi weighs a ton, doesn't it? Not really. I think my strength weighs a ton. My Uzi, because Uzi is the word Oz, Uz. Oz is a word in Hebrew meaning strength. Uzi, you put a yod at the end. My strength. My strength weighs a ton. Okay, well, I guess I'm Superman and lifting it pretty easy, like with a pinky. But you know what really weighs a ton? Like Yahweh's strength. I'm gonna suggest Matthew Ray Wilkins' strength weighs a ton. That's why he's such a pussy. He's hiding. He won't even acknowledge I exist, and I can prove he's been participating in this whole time, and this is probably why he's gonna be perditioned. He's been on the road to perdition because this Nation of Islam stuff is slapping his dumb ass upside the head, and he's not hot on the blocks. Mans is not hot on the blocks. You know what I'm saying? Actually, nobody knows who fucking Jay Electronica is because he's just some throwaway fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? They didn't know him in the jail. That's what I'm getting at. And those were people from New Orleans. Anyway, the only people that know him are people who know about like fake Hollywood bullshit. So abracadabra, well, you've been spell jammed, and I'm using more advanced technology to like, whatever, look you down, and jaw sword is gonna deal with you. But okay, what am I looking for in here? Which one was I going to? Oh, I was actually going to the oh, and yeah, just FY ignorant. You would not listen. So annihilation or perdition, the same word. So yeah, dude's getting perditioned. Let's go up in the Stephanie Justin mix or Stephanie Yostin. Hold on, I'll do it slowly enough. This is the bottom of the mix, but we'll go slow. We'll go. It's not in order yet because there's how many songs are in this one? 504, and I'm doing the Alessandro Ambrosio mix first, and the Andrea Ambrosio mix first, and probably the Chantal Jeffries mix first, and some of these other ones. The Chantal Jeffries ones is surprisingly coming out really well. I'm just like, oh, okay, this one that probably means there's some connection that is like can't be shook. That's how a lot of these are, but like that one is just like what that one is suggesting is like that doesn't mean we're friends. That just means there's a connection. She could be my some kind of rival or something. I guess some mixed DJ representing white and black people, and we're in some kind of like mental psychological fight or something like that. And she's I think she's a better she's in the least smarter than people are giving her credit for. She's really hot too. So uh, if you want to be a wifey or mistress or something, I'd love that. That would be great. I would definitely love to have some really attractive, super mixed babies with you. We'd have really attractive kids. Um, I mean, I'm not even kidding. Stella can come too. Salah, Salah. That's a Bible joke, because that's where her name comes from. Anyway, it's a Hebrew name. Hebrew, not not Arab, because all of Arabic came. Arabic is literally came with uh, the Quran, which was written in 600. Hebrew has like we have old Hebrew writings on stels, or on stones from like what 1,200 years ago. The Misha stele or whatever is like 1,200 years old. Or no, is that the first? Maybe that's written in Phoenician. That's the same fucking language. It's just Paleo Hebrew, and they want to call it Phoenician. So get the fuck out of here. But okay, so it's a much older language. I don't even have to. We're not going to get into it. I'm too like my head's on too much other stuff. But you can just see the titles of all these, and once I put it together, it's going to be pretty fucking obvious this is a problem. I'm also going to suggest. Oh, first let's look at this. Hey, Matt the Alien, Wild Child. Um, did the Men in Black get me? Turns out I'm the Men in Black too. No. Okay, so because Jay Electronica here. Let's pull this up. Well, I'll pull it up on here. Let's go to his twatters, his ex twatters. Oh, he. Okay, he removed the alien thing because it's too obvious that yeah, it's some bullshit. Um, hold on. We might be able to find some of the alien bullshit here too. No, okay, see, this is also why there's a bunch of bullshit. P.S. My name is Jay Electronica, and I am with the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. I believe in the God. This is why it's a Venom suit. I believe in the God of the Scriptures and the prophets, and they all revealed. Well, no, because the Quran. Oh, I forgot to. Did I bring this up? The beast from the earth in Revelation is brought up in by Allah in the Quran in Surah 2782. So they can't be talking about the same God if the beast from the earth false prophet is something raised by Islam doing like an extended 1260-day version of what Elijah the prophet does, not Elijah Muhammad, Elijah the prophet from 1 Kings 18:19, when he fights Jezebel's prophets, the prophets of Baal, because Bel and Baal are the same deity, and Jezebel is some woman exalted of Baal or Bel. In other words, Baal being the word for husband, exalted of her husband. So it's one of these probably lesbian women that's using some gay dude who's being empowered by the spirit of fake deity, blah 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 to fight me. and I'm just proving this is all bullshit. I'm pretty sure Jay Electronica is a gay dude, and Mars is one of these babies like fucking Sasha Baron Cohen did with Bruno. Does that? I think that is pretty like on point, right? Have I wrapped it up so fucking like directly that it's like, damn, he really is the guy on the throne of Yahweh, and I really am going to perdition, aren't I? Yeah, dummy, you really are. I can't believe you are this fucking stupid. And you betrayed New Orleans. Shameful. Also embarrassing and humiliating. That's the one thing the Arabs all say too. This is what the Arabs say. And I can pull up some of the things about this, but this is how they think. We can stand like being defeated and like whatever dying. We cannot stand the humiliation. Yeah, because it's all ego and arrogance. And one thing that my mom always told me, and she's a very like my mom's a lawyer, and she's a very like she's a lifelong Democrat and like way progressive and stuff like that, and just is fooled by that whole side of things. I feel like, but one thing even she has always told me is that whenever she has Arab clients or clients from the Middle East, she's always happy to help them, but the men are always arrogant beyond their knowledge. They're always prideful and arrogant beyond their knowledge, and because she's a woman, they generally don't want to listen to her if it goes against what they think. So anyway, embarrassing. You're embarrassing, Jay Electronica. You're embarrassing. Okay, that's just what it is. You wanna. This is probably even why he dropped the whole. Hold on, we can even do this. Jay Electronica. He has a Discord, right? I'm not gonna go on it, but aliens, UFO. Oh, hold on. Okay, yeah. See, it's even up here. This was his thing for the longest fucking time. And no, you're not an alien. Also, the goat who never was. Remember, Jesus comes to separate the sheep from the goats, and the goats go into eternal hellfire, right? The sheep. Uh, Also, didn't Denzel Curry just embarrass you like with Erica Badu? I mean, she talked up your shit and then just like, oh, he's a bitch nigga. Let's drop him. You know what I'm saying? Like, even dummy from Alhamdulillah, like Yahweh is Jehovah is Mott is Allah is. Oh, are you saying I'm all those things? Thanks, baby. Anyway, I mean, you know what I'm saying? What? You think I'm a racist or something? I mean, get the fuck out of here. This dude betrayed black people all over the place. And I mean, what is this shit? What are you, a Muslim? What are you? Or are you just a dude who doesn't know what the fuck he is? I'm gonna go with that last thing. Um. All right. So anyway, the UFO thing looks like I'm a little bit ahead of him, but let's even do this. Is this the knockout? Hold on, because okay. Well, why don't we go here? Actually, we'll start at serpent because he's acting like a fucking snake, and he thinks he's a diviner enchanter, and that's what a serpent is. So let's just start with the artwork here, and that's me. That's not him. But yeah, if you wanna MMA fight, I mean, I'd probably punch him out too, but I think it would ultimately end up I'm gonna wrap him up like a spider monkey. I'm gonna be on your. What? How does that go from Talladega Nights? I'm gonna jump on you like a spider monkey. That's funny because they want to call me Spider Man instead of guy on the throne of Yahweh. So yeah, even if I'm Spider Man, I'm still gonna whoop that ass. So, uh, come out of hiding. Come out of hiding. Come on. Come on. Come out of hiding. See how it pushes forward the Book of Revelation, and you are not on the right side on that one. That's what I thought, pussy. And I like pussies, so actually, that's what I thought. You dick. I like my own dick. He's not my own dick. So, anyway, grave bloom. All right, let's go here. Take me up. Take me home. Oh no, the aliens are coming. Oh no. Oh, it's a base invasion. Oh no! This is why he dropped the UFO thing because he's just so outplayed and on the road to perdition. It's hilarious. Oh, am I just some wook dude who's like, you know, probably doesn't even know what a fucking wook is. So that should tell you enough about this dude. Um, oh, am I just a kitty cat? Oh, oh, am I just a little pussy? Well, if I am, I'm a kitty cat, and the dogs are getting thrown in the burning lake, but the kitty cat, the lion disguised as lamb. Hi, yo, yeah, um, you know, I'm gonna be on the throne of Yahweh because I am on the throne of Yahweh. That's the whole watch the throne thing, by the way, with Jay Z and Kanye West. It's also why Kanye goes as yo. I mean, he goes as yay because I'm yo or yah, and so he just picks another vowel and it's yay. I mean, come on, it's like what? Do you think this shit wasn't so obvious that I wasn't gonna be able to pull a rabbit out of the hat? And I'm the fucking rabbit. I mean, just get out of here. It's like because it seems like I got a bunch of kids that I didn't. Did I know about him? Some part of me did probably, but Yahweh did for sure. Anyway, this is the Stargate. Looks a lot like the Seraphim. And oh, is this the UFO? And we got the actual. They got a spaceship, but probably a number of places, particularly even the U.S. government, probably has a spaceship, and probably this one is closer to me because the U.S. government in public would have a problem unless they're using contractors like Electronica or something. Um, they would have a problem like actually coming and striking out at me just very publicly. So I'm like this underground kind of spaceship, whereas the other one is just kind of in the fucking sky or whatever or something like that. I don't know. Could be. What does that say? J Electronica, the alien. I mean, you aren't laughing at this point. You don't have a sense of humor, but how is he going to have a sense of humor? Oh, oh, hey, ooh. Send me all the women that do this, and I would love a big harem of them. And yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, all right. Oh, hold on, we got a couple more because it's funny. See, I'm funnier than him too. That's the problem. He thought he was being a clown, and he's. I mean, he's a clown in a bad way, not in a good way, because he's not very funny. Um, Remember, they had the whole control thing. Alhamdulillah, give only by faith did we make it this far. By faith and some bullshit, and that's why it's being clapped down on harder than you can fucking imagine. Is this like NOLA except with two O's? Didn't Stephanie Houston visit New Orleans about a little over 7 or 8 years? Yeah, she did. Oh, the virus syndicate. We're about to look at that here in a second. Actually, let's go do that. Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me. That's just how the sample in the song goes. So I'm just saying, don't talk to me. Oh, is it Skull and Crossbones and Orange? Maybe. Does it look like there's about to be some kind of like dystopian event? Yeah, like the Book of Revelation, exactly. Okay. And this is his Uzi weighs a ton. Mine weighs, Superman can lift a ton. Superman can lift a lot more than a ton. And even if I ain't Yahweh, it looks like I'm Superman. And whatever kryptonite people been hitting me down with, like the gas from fucking Batman versus Superman, looks like it's wearing off. And Batman's punches and stuff are just like this. And he's like, oh shit, yeah, I'm gonna rip your fucking head off. I'm not Superman like from the thing. I'm like Superman like with a brain. No, I'm not Superman for Batman versus Superman. He could have just killed Batman, but just like what? You know what I'm saying? Like rip his, basically like what Scorpion does in Mortal Kombat. I mean, just like that's Space Cathedral. Hey, look, it's like an astronaut, like from Houston here. He stupid, stupid. Anyway, okay. And we got one last. Let's go to the Anja Ambrosio mix. Um, First of all, what is that? Is that a hard drive? Is this an SD drive? What is this? A beeper? What does that say? Caller ID? I think probably when the Mossad guys saw this, they probably shat their pants when fucking that whole thing was going on, and they like the the terrorist organizations didn't know. I'm not gonna tell them that like what you're doing. I'm just gonna do stuff like this where after the fact it's like clear that I knew it was going on, and it's like what an eco round is in Counter Strike. This is like an eco round. This is my eco round, right? I'm beating them like I'm like Pennywise the clown. Pennywise. You know what that means? Okay. Well, I don't have to spend a bunch of money. I'll let the Israelis do that. I can just be the guy, behind the whole thing, knowing that everything's gonna happen and pulling the strings. Like the thing where I put in the Simi Hayes mix, law-abiding citizen. What's Gerard Butler's character? What does they say? Spies are a dime a dozen. He's a think tank type guy. Maybe like Peter Zion. Hey Peter, we're bros in this one. I'm like a think tank that guy. My specialty is kinetic operations. My specialty is music, but the music is clowning you on this one. Not Peter Zion. All these other idiots. Maybe him. I don't know. Um, let me just go through the Andre Ambrosia mix. I'm not gonna go through the whole thing, but you can read it. It's not done yet. I mean, we're getting close to the point where I'll even make another video about it. But I'm just trying to use this to show like y'all are outmatched, outplayed. You could have an entire fucking. You could have tens of thousands against me. What does it say about David against the tens of thousands in the Bible? Like what Saul kills his thousand, David kills his tens of thousands. You could have a whole stadium of people here in Houston trying to fuck with me. It ain't gonna work. Guess where they're ending up? Look to the right. That's okay. Um. Hey, my name is Techno, and that's on Ja, like on job or on D's or on life or on the low or hold on. But that's on Ja. Yeah, on Ya, on Ja. Okay. My daughter, my little daughter, my little doggy daughter. I love my little doggy daughter. She looks a lot like me. That's one of the reasons I love her so much. Cause like damn, you just look like me and Alessandra Ambrosio mixed together. That's hot. Because I like myself. I don't know how they raised her. I don't know if she likes herself or not, but I like myself. All right, we'll start. Let's start. We'll start right here. We're not gonna go through the whole thing. I'll do that in some other one. Um, because this is like on Ja. Well, it's an on art. uh, and why more? On why more? That's anymore. On other day. Okay. And alley. And no. Okay. No. Okay. Okay. Anyway, Fulcrum. This looks like some legs and something spread in its butthole. Maybe some goatsy thing is going on in there. Rusty Nichols. You can. What is Rusty Nichols? Analyze. I mean analyze, or allies. Allies. Uh, Another song about butt stuff. Hey, Sailor Uranus. This is my tribute to my daughter, Anja. I love my daughter Anja. Um, she's my favorite actually. Puppy tune, poopy tune. Puppy tune is the U two O's poopy tune. Okay. Fuck you. Anyway, this is the lunatic banquet, right? Um, am I too hot to touch? Yeah, I'm like a cute little hedgehog here, a little selecta. Am I like a moon boy? Yeah, and into hot young teen girls. I get it. Uh, Fabian Mazur, is that like what Jamie Mazur, except like this whole clown show is they're gonna end up in this place, but I think I'm gonna end up on the throne of Yahweh, and you know I'm gonna suggest the sub dies. Buck Palmer, even there's on a thing on Buck Palmer's thing where he's wearing a shirt and it says "sub dies" on it. So he's one of the subs. I'm guessing whoever like impregnates Alessandra and or Anja, who isn't Buck Palmer, because I don't think she's actually going to have a kid with him. I think he is the least of all the men that she's been with, and it is the most embarrassing, and that's the point of using him. That's just my feeling on it. He's also the least attractive of them. Probably the most attractive of them is I'm going to suggest Rich Lee. There you go. Um, what? Nothing like me. You see the symbolism? What? You think you're going to beat me here? Nimda, or is that in? I'm Da. Like Yoda, I'm Da. In. Hopefully, all these dubstep artists are like, damn, he's funny, and he's doing something with our music worthwhile that's going to change the world. And these people killed people at a rave. Yeah, fuck them. You blow them up with the beepers. Yeah. Blow their dicks off with beepers. Yeah. Anyway, Yahweh. Hold on, we're getting to the interesting part. This is the part where this is the fourth seal, or the fourth, yeah, fourth seal, fourth trumpet, fourth church. The one with Jezebel and Jezebel's daughter. I think that's Alessandra and Anja probably. Though I guess it could be Gabby Deleuze and Isa. Okay, but at the fourth church, fourth seal, fourth trumpet, fourth plague, there's a some kind of pestilence or plague that kills, along with war and famine and wild animals, kills a fourth of the world's population. That's 2 billion plus people. On Jahard. On Jahard. Am I Jah and I'm hard? They were trying to make it like I'm some soft bitch, but it's actually Jay Electronica. And he's gonna, Mr. Beat my chest. I'm man. I fuck woman. You ran into the Monkey King, you idiot. I got a bigger rod than you can fucking imagine. I'm gonna beat you over the head with it. And this has nothing to do with you being a black man. Other than, I guess they're calling black people monkeys, so like, I'm rolling with it. I get to be the Monkey King. Congrats, right? This is probably why my Aunt Carolyn uh, bought me all the Dragon Ball Z stuff. Hold on. Do I gotta get the wall scrolls out again? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. Monkey King. Me, Rod. Bop you on head. You die. Bye bye. We go Kingdom Heaven. Yeah, monkey. I mean, come the fuck on. Don't be so insecure. What? White people call you monkey and that's like the end of the world? Look, my whole thing is just call white people niggas with hard R's. And then they're going to be like, no, that's you. And it's like, no, you're ignorant. That's you. That's you. You get it? Also, there are white people that look like monkeys. Look at Gareth Bale. He's a very, handsome guy, but he looks like a monkey to me. I mean, it's like, whatever. Cool. What do I look like? I look like a little kitty cat, don't I? Huh. Anyway, Monkey King. Actually, this is Go Getta. I mean Gogeta, because I'm a Go Getta. You get it? I mean, was this all over your fucking head the whole time? Yes, it was, because they're fucking idiots and they're insecure. That's the one thing, if you take anything from this about Jay Electronica, he's insecure. Am I secure? I don't know. Am I? I'm not gonna let someone calling me a monkey throw me throw me for a loop. Oh, I get to be Goku? Cool. I'm gonna beat you over the head with the fucking iron rod if you keep disrespecting me though. But cool. Dumbass. Am I Red Foreman now? Yeah, probably. I am dad at this point. Again, enough black people from New Orleans, if they did die, if this whole thing isn't a lie, have died because of the bullshit Jay Electronica's on for me to like, I feel pretty comfortable clowning your ass. Again, it's not like none of the men, but definitely none of the black men in the jail knew who the fuck Jay Electronica was, other than again Sean Williams or whatever. So yeah, it's just like, and is that a hint? Sean Williams? What did they think they were getting knighted, and that the English blokes that they had the patents to nobility, or maybe that the Arabs had it or something? No, divine right comes from Yahweh. You fucking idiots. And once England dropped that for fucking Islam, like they have very clearly, they don't got any divine right. They're fucking idiots. So this would also probably be why, like, Christian Craighead, I would assume, is probably not one of those idiots, because the SAS guys are not idiots. They are very well trained fucking operators. They have their if they got the respect of Delta, they got all the respect in the world that they need. You know what I'm saying? They got my. I mean, I'm not gonna be a respecter of persons, but you know what I'm saying. Like, that should tell you their level. But they shouldn't respect this. I saw the lead supporters in fucking Stoke after Joel Peru. Like I said, like I made this post right. Oh, like I made this. Hold on. Oh, there's a storm in Israel. I'm gonna expect the next big storm is gonna be way bigger than this. This is just a hint. Um, but there's hail in Israel and wind strong enough to flip the thing. So I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say this: can Palestine do it on a cold, rainy night in Stoke? No, no, they can't. Laughing cat emoji. Uh, however, Joel Peru here and Dan James. By the way, Dan James, Robert Triolio. If you're looking, I mean, if you're listening, because I feel like everybody is. Dan James just reminds me of Welsh Robert Triolio. They are like both fast as fuck. Uh, they both score some good goals and stuff like that. Roberto's my boy, so I'm like, trying to give a shout out. They're like, is he my like? Do I have any friends? Maybe, I don't know. But look, Brendan Aronson here and Manor Solomon and the rest of Leeds. They know that Palestine is, it's in a shock to absolutely no one. It appears the true English hate Palestine and the Philistines. When will the government and media reflect this? We hate the fantasy Islamist state. Well, again, because the English have been bought off because they think it's a way that they can, I guess, usurp America's authority. But nope. Yeah, fuck the Philistines, the Arabs pretending to be, because those are different people groups in the Bible. The actual ancient Philistines or Palestinians were like of Greek origin and stuff like that. Don't think I don't fall for their bullshit. You shouldn't either. So yeah, and any English club or clubs around the world, when you pick up Americans, that's appreciated. I appreciate that, and I support that. And yeah, again, the English, we all hate the so-called Free Palestine marches stampeding through London with police and government's approval. That's because Charles Xavier there has sold out your country to the Arab, Islamic rape religion because I don't know. I don't know. I don't exactly know why. Lack of intelligence, maybe. Maybe they have compromat on them, compromising material, blackmail. I mean, it could be that too. So, where were the dogs, horses, and riot gear like this? Like what we all had on St. George's Day 2024. I mean, it's just you know, fuck these people. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like Islam trying to take over and just who does the lightning? It ain't Allah. In fact, like fucking the Mecca seems to be a magnet for like extreme flooding and storm activity all the time. So here's this Jewish guy that said after Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis, the final boss is God because the lightning struck the thing, and it's like, oh, are they talk? Is he talking about me because I'm doing the lightning stuff? Well, I can say this: the whole lot of them are brutish and stupid. Not British, brutish and stupid. The teachings given by these nothings is void of sense. But Yahweh is the true God. He is the living God, the everlasting King. The earth quakes when he is wrathful, the nations cannot endure his fury. Tell them this: the gods who did not make the heavens and the earth will vanish from the earth and from under the heavens. Now, Jay Electronica wants to call himself a god. I think he's going to vanish from off the earth and from under the heavens. And this is a great place for him to vanish to because he's, perditioned himself. You get it? Mr. Grand Wizard Imperial with the Midasy touch. Dumbass. Okay. By his power, he made the earth. By his wisdom, set the world firm. By his discernment, spread out the heavens. When he thunders, there's a tumult of water in the heavens. He raises the clouds from the boundaries of the earth, makes lightning flash for the downpour, and brings the wind from his storehouse. At this, all men stand stupefied, uncomprehending. Every goldsmith blushes for the idol he has made, since his images are nothing but delusion, with no breath in them. They are a nothing, a laughable production. When the time comes for them to be punished, they will all vanish. The portion of Jacob is nothing like these, for he is the maker of everything, and Israel is the tribe of his heritage, or his inheritance. His name is Yahweh Zabaoth. Once more, Yahweh, there is none like you. So great you are, so great your mighty name. Who would not revere you, King of nations, since, yes, this is your due, since all of the wise among the nations, of all the wise among the nations, and in all their kingdoms, there is not a single one like you. I'm going to suggest there ain't even a single one like fucking me. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to be, but, that's the whole point of Alessandro Ambrosio with these men. It's just something to, like, cut me down at my sexuality and whatever, and divine creative power. And I don't think it worked very well. I think it's backfired so much that it just gave me the key to being the guy on the actual throne of Yahweh. So I might have been like Superman before, or Batman, but like, I'm gonna be the guy on the throne of Yahweh, which has all the authority and power of Yahweh. So yeah, what a fuck up. Okay, let's wrap this up. Back to the forthcoming plague outbreak, pestilence outbreak. Yeah, outbreak. Anja hard. You get it? Anja hard. Is she easy? No, this is really hard. That she would choose other. And this is the thing. I think Bai actually, like, this is. She probably dies from, like, I'm exactly what she wanted, and she did the worst thing that she could ever do to me, and I'm her dad, actually. I'm her father. And I was raped when I was her age that she is right now, and I still love her, and she's still my favorite, and I still love her brother, and I still love her mother, and they still treat me like shit. The whole family treats me like shit. And like, having my kids is not treating me well. It's treating me well. Treat me well. Using my kids as some form of, like, mechanism of psychological and emotional abuse, uh, you know, that ain't doing me any favors. In fact, that's like you're my worst enemy. So congrats. Plague, pestilence, infamous. Shout out to Stinkabell. Uh, Shout out to Stinkabell. It's like Jezebel, but with Stinka in front of Bell. Bella Hadid? Like this Bella Hadid? Bella Hadid? And the cracks begin to show. Oh, Persia? Yeah, Persia. Oh, actually, Soul? Oh, okay. Demons? Oh, I don't like her. Nosebleed. She's a Jinn. She's got a gun. She's a dumb beauty. That's a one I made. Oh, The Weeknd. Something about EXO. I mean, is The Weeknd the idol? Didn't he do that show, The Idol? Because it's just a bunch of Palestinian rape magic being used to, like, attack at me, and has Lily Rose Depp in it, and it's, I guess Issa had EXO tatted on her wrist. I mean, was she sacrificed to The Weeknd or Drake or something? I mean, look, also think about this. Drake, the name Drake, in Greek, the dragon from the Bible is called the Drakon. Okay. Well, that makes sense, doesn't it? The Drake on. Oh, okay. Yeah, it makes sense. So it's some kind of Canadian rape attack, and that's the whole Justin Bieber thing, I guess, and Justin Trudeau's party. Oh, they're both Justins, and that's probably something too. Yeah, okay. Anyway, here's me launching off my psychological missiles. Ah, it's a salvo, right? Oh no! Anyway, oh, energy beast because it's just a beast system using Islam. Yeah, it's probably the energy beast thing is probably how the uh the guys from what are they from Chechnya or Dagestan or something? That's probably how they're being empowered by like Russia and Islamic rape magic. Anyway, all right, let's go back to the forthcoming plague. I mean pestilence. It's called a pestilence in the Bible. There's a bunch of plagues, but one of them is a literal pestilence. So Oracle Roots Honey. That's my grandma's name. The one that actually lived in third ward all her life that Beyonce didn't give a fuck about and tried to be the third ward troll, but that was just my grandma. And rest in peace. Um, because as a black woman, she always like I never felt unloved by black people. I never felt unloved by white people, and some of that has to do with my grandma Honey, my grandma Coral, always telling me how much she loved me, and I just always felt loved. And this is one of the reasons why I have no issue calling Jay Electronica a bitch nigga who's caused so many fucking problems that it's literally the end of the world and he's going to be thrown into fucking perdition in a burning torture infinite doom loop. You aren't a god. You're a weak man, an arrogant one at that. Cage virus. Cage, that this looks familiar. Is that Christian Stark? What Cage? Cage? Are you my son? Is this how I get the Tony Stark thing? I get to be Iron Man. This is Iron Rod. Mad contagious. But I'm gonna be in quarantine in the city of Corinth. Anyway, all right. Am I? I mean, well, I guess we'll see. But looks like this ends now, and funk you, and the prophecy, and the in game featuring Virus Syndicate. Oh, isn't it starting to look like go sick? Isn't it starting to look like oh, and that's my clown daughter Anja. I mean, this isn't actually a picture of her, but this is just how you know, that's just an avatar for Anja, little clown girl with a thing. And also, by the way, me being bred when I was 16 and probably also when I was 12 or something or even younger, this is why I have what does this say? Heritage, right to kill. I don't have a license to kill. I have a right to kill. And also, I'm going to say this: it's going to save a lot of people from dying. So, uh, either this happens and we go to a place where nobody dies anymore, or death reigns over the world for eternity and just is a continuous cycle because it's some Satan character siphoning off, uh, you know, siphoning off our uh, humanity in order to survive. But here, let's listen to one more thing.
Like you know, oh. Crybabies. garbage ass hoe.
Oh. Anyway. Alright, I'm done. So, this is where I'm going to end it, because I'm going to actually do some music stuff here. Maybe I can get some food. Go get a salad. I like the salads from Chick-fil-A now. Those are pretty damn good. And one of those Southwest, no, spicy, I don't know. It's market salad. And I just take the eggs out and put grilled chicken on it and put some ranch on it. Very good. Better than I thought it would be. All right, that's it. I don't got more. I mean, clearly I could do this all day. I could do this all day. Right? Am I Captain America now? I just got a lot of these, right? I probably could do this all day, but I'm not going to. I'm over it already. So this is 2.5 hours worth of me just clowning fucking whatever the fuck is going on, fucking the Nation of Islam, Islam itself, because the Nation of Islam isn't Islam. It couldn't be, based on what they teach. So it's just some bullshit that has been, is being used as some venom soup to make me look like the bad guy, and I don't know. I ain't friends with Jay Electronica. He's an idiot. I told you. There's not very many people I'm like willing to fight, but this is also strategic. If you actually do step out to do some kind of fight with me, like, we can set it up. I don't know. I don't know how to set up an official fight with the state of Texas or whatever, but I'm down. It can't just be boxing though. I mean, I'd have to be able to do whatever, because I'm gonna kick the shit out of you, and I'd wrap him up and choke him and just choke his dumb ass out. So I wouldn't kill him, because I don't do that. But I mean, not in a fight. I wouldn't do that. If he was like a threat to someone else, I would prefer the other person's life probably over his. But go look at my Yo TV stuff from 2018 when Cam drunkenly like walked into my grandma's house while I was in it and was like belligerent and drunk. I choked him to the point of him going unconscious and just immediately let off, like woke him up, or like, made sure he was okay, took him outside, sat him on a chair, got him some water, bought him an Uber, like a Lyft or an Uber home, and like, gave him a shirt. Gave him literally, I think I gave him the shirt off my back, but maybe another shirt. So what, am I racist, Jay Electronica, or are you just a fucking idiot and I'm clowning your dumb, insecure ass for, trying some dumb bullshit like this that's caused death and destruction? And this is about the end of it, isn't it? So, yeah, I think so. Hopefully, I mean, I guess, I still think that the, tribulation period is forthcoming. Or maybe we're already in it and I'm just protected a lot. But, I still think the tribulation period is coming forward. Because how can I believe anything that's put in front of my face at this point? And at this point, also, AIs can make up just any video you see. AIs could make the entire thing at this point and make it look believable. Where it was AIs could do it and it looked like it had some errors, that was about 6 months ago. At this point, AIs can do it, and it's like pretty indistinguishable from real life, and every day forward, it's going to look more realistic. So, like this, I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to have to do it on this computer because let's see. Hey, look, it's Allie and Buck. Oh wow, what a real believable couple that is. God damn. See, this is what I have to deal with. This is me being strong, because who's this fucking random Australian idiot causing all sorts of fucking problems with this rapist who literally raped me as a child and is like using my children? She's a beautiful rapist, still a fucking rapist. So, I mean, it just is what it is. And there she is with my daughter, except guess what? It's not real. Well, why do I say that? Well, one of these pictures actually might be, like, because one of the pictures is. But the rest of them are AI. Where's her hairline? What's going on with the hand there? Where it just seems like, what's going on with her hand here? You know what I'm saying? Like there's telltale signs of AI stuff. I think this is the real picture. But is that one even real? I don't know. But like, let's see. Look at what's going on with her hand here, right? It just blends in with the, like, her thumb isn't there and it's blending in with the side of the hand. This is why I don't believe anything that I see anymore, because we're already at this point where people are trying to pass this off as like real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Um, like, what's her toe doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, look at Anja's hand. Or I mean, fake Anja's hand. You know what I'm saying? So like, even the kisses could be fake and AI and photo brushed and photoshopped and this, that, or the other. And oh, hey, look, the train has some messages. Brat, am I a brat? You know it. You know it, Charlie. I'm just a brat. Hey. Anyway, or is Anja a brat? She's kind of acting like it. I mean, I've never even spoken with my daughter or my son, and they don't even acknowledge me. And my daughter, like, blocked me on her Anja poop account, which is literally just because I've been making poop jokes about Anja. And not even poop jokes. Let's do poop stuff. I mean, I need to make up for all the not being able to wipe your diaper, clean your butt and clean up your diapers and stuff like that. I'm really missing that part of your development in life. So, or I did, and it not based on something I did, based on the fact that she's a rapist and hangs out with the rapists, and they've tried to rape. She literally did rape me and like force bred me and tried to hide it, and then did it work? No, none of this shit that they're doing is working. So I mean, it's just like, it's pathetic that they're still trying, and like I 100% believe her friend Gabby is gonna die here, and it's gonna be all Alessandra's fault because she's still acting like a rape. Not just all her fault. Alessandra, Anja, Noah, Lucilda Ambrosio, Louise Ambrosio. Did Louise Ambrosio like molest uh, Gabby to lose as a kid or something, or is it something like that? I mean, I don't know, but the AI seems to be hinting that on my story and pictures. So whatever it is, they're all just fucking evil people. And I think Gabby's about to die. She's going into surgery tomorrow, apparently. And the cancer is progressing faster than it should. And good. It's because they're no longer able to keep up this illusion. And they're trying to pretend that she's a Christian. But if she's a Christian, she wouldn't be acting like a fucking rapist towards me. She would just speak. You don't stay silent anymore. You understand you're empowering rapists by staying silent. And yet they know that and they're staying silent. So the whole Ambrosio family is going to die. And, am I the one that did it? If I'm the one that is doing it, then I'm some form of deity. Else I'm just, what, I gave you cancer? I mean, so if I gave you cancer, because I think something's trying to give me cancer through the thing that I've talked about from Genesis 32, strike on the thigh, and it operates through a mechanism of Proverbs 12:4. There's also another thing in the Proverbs that talks about envy and cancer or rot. And then, it makes me the guy from, it's part of the thing that makes me the guy from Revelation 19:15. But, it's really being the guy conquering at the seven churches of Asia, which includes this whole thing, which is connected to the third and fourth church, I think. So, the Jezebel and Balak and Balaam, or Barak and Bar Am. Am I the bar, the Texas State Bar, because I've been able to defend myself so thoroughly? Maybe. Uh, um, but yeah, I think Barack Obama let this happen, like knowingly allowed this covert rape strike on my reality because it happened while he was the president. And I think he's just an actor. Again, I think contractors took over about, or something took over here in America about 2007, 2008, and empowered by Islam, the Islamic attack. I would say 2008 because that's exactly 7 years after 2001, where the Twin Towers thing, where I think something hit me at my kneecaps, and that was the idea. I have two legs, and then it knocked down, and I have one leg on the left. But if I can build the right leg back up, I'm the guy on the throne of Yahweh. And Yahweh. All right, that's it. So to all the idiots that are still participating in this, like I could stop looking at Alessandra Ambrosio, and probably the only time she'll pop up in my reality is when she gets pregnant. It's going to be like a news story. But I'm going to suggest when Gabby dies, because I think they're doing whatever they're doing to try to prevent Gabby from dying. Um, like once she dies, it's like just too obvious. Like it's a chain reaction, and the chain reaction already started a while back. But like this is just like that is such a big domino to fall that it's like I think then she's gonna get pregnant, or like that's what she's trying to do now, and that's why she's in What Do I with Buck, with Mr. Buck. Uh, I mean, look, I also don't think he's actually the one that's, they're going to use to impregnate her. I'm going to guess it would be Jamie Mazur or other random guy. And maybe this is even, there's three kings it talks about, the three like beast whatevers that are given some kind of authority to, I guess, act like rapists towards me. And the fourth one is I'm thinking one of them, and then he has a child asserting over my child, like if I have what's going on with Tom Brady and how people know that that's fucking wrong. That I mean, People Magazine doesn't, because they're blowing smoke up Gisele Bundchen's ass for being this fucking rapist ass whore. But I'll also say when this started all like really coming out in the open is when Rio Grande do Sul flooded and a bunch of people died. So you can blame it on these fucking Victoria's Secret rapists. You're very beautiful, but Gisele Bundchen's not that attractive in my opinion. But Alessandra is very beautiful, but I don't. Who gives a fuck if you're fucking rapists and abusive shitheads and you're not very intelligent and you're just bad? She's a bad actress and like, and a bad actor in the sense of like she's not a good actor, and like in the sense of like a good, like, oh, I'm a rational actor or whatever actor. Like she's not a good actor. She's a bad actor, but she's also a bad actress in the sense like she didn't act well. But I mean like in movies she doesn't act well, and also on her like whatever thing that she's pretending with Buck or whatever. The illusion is so bad at this point. It's hard to believe. But like I'm saying, I think it's the Jamie Mazur thing. I think either I'm about to have another kid or they're gonna fork me, and where they basically assert over my sexuality with another man's children, like my children with another man's children. I'm sure Noah and Anja are fine with it, because when I started saying they're gonna die because of this, that any goodwill I probably had with them, they might have thought, well, he's weak and he's not gonna do anything. It's like, well, that probably went out the window. But what do I give a fuck? You're my kids, not the other way around. Also, I can make another Anja, I can make another Noah. If this is how Alessandra and them and their family acts, why would I want to be connected to them? I don't at this point. So that being said, I'm still going to keep watching to make the point that I'm making art out of this. And I'm literally making art out of this in multiple ways. I got a story and pictures, and I got fucking mixes coming out. You can expect those mixes in the next 6 months. A lot of them. I mean, I'm about to put out so many mixes. It's like, woo! But I'm taking my time and being thorough. So it's taken me a year to collect all the music, and over a year, but it's taken me a year to re-go through my library to redo some stuff and really be thorough, because I'm nothing if not thorough. I hope. Um, so that's it. This is over. Hopefully the whole charade is over and it all starts collapsing, and we can go to a kingdom of heaven where nobody dies anymore, where Yahweh is actually in control and lives on the earth, like it says God is here, and like it says God lives with man at the end of the Bible. And I'll either be him, or I'm gonna be I'm gonna be on the throne. So I'll either be Jesus' father or Jesus' son or Jesus' brother or something. But I'm tell you this: I'm on the throne in the home, and a bunch of people aren't. They're gonna be in the burning eternal torture pit, the second death, the lake of fire, and yeah. So anything else? No, I think I've said all I need to. So, okay, cool. Hope you enjoyed. Have a blessed one. You know what I'm saying to the FBI? Didn't I just contact the FBI about some being defrauded? What am I afraid of the authorities? No, I'm not fucking, you know, J Electronica and these other Nation of Islam idiots who are acting as like agents for Saudi Arabia and fucking other Islamic nations and shit. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why you're on a road to perdition and this shit's about to collapse. Go read the Quran, Mr. Grand Wizard Imperial. They don't like you. They don't you are way too dark for them to like you. They might like me because I'm like I just look like a white guy. But, I'm gonna say this. I stand more for black people than J Electronica could ever stand for in his fucking life. Am I wrong? How about this? Come out and start engaging with your words, but you can't. You've already trapped yourself with your actions, and actions speak louder than words. People have watched me for years and know how I act and know who I am. Well, do they? I think what's surprising them is I really am the guy on the throne of Yahweh, and Yahweh God does exist. Allah doesn't. Allah is a covert rape attack on my reality that's empowering some wizards and magicians. So, Mr. Grand Wizard Imperial, you're done. And, the dynamo here, this is my dunamis power. It's a Bible word. Dynamo is just a Bible word. Not a Quran word, but it's not as if everything out of the Quran isn't just stolen from the Bible anyway, so. Ooh! Yeah, that burned, doesn't it? So, alright. That's it. I might have some more that I could add, but I think this covers about it. And this is a great video for the for the first day of 2025, ain't it? It only goes for me uphill, or it goes to a good place for me. It might be a little difficult, but I'm going towards the light at the end of the tunnel. These people are going towards the burning lake at the end of the tunnel. And I'll kick your ass in myself if I have to. Anyway, that's it. That's all. That's all I got for you. Have a blessed day. Remember, Jesus is the Christ of Yahweh. If you believe in your heart, actually, I think it says this first. If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and you believe in your heart that God, Yahweh, raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Moreover, in the book of Joel, all who call on the name of Yahweh on the day of Yahweh, in other words, when the seals are being opened and you see the sky fall, like when you see the cataclysm, repent. Repentance is this: believe in Yahweh, believe what I'm saying, call on the name of Yahweh in actual, like, oh God, this is happening. Don't call on God. Say, Yahweh, please forgive me. I believe in Jesus. Like, he's my Lord. Jesus, I'm, that, like, the whole thing that I said. Just do the whole logic train of that. And but call on the name of Yahweh and you'll be saved. Even, you know, as long as you aren't fucking Hitler, actually, or, like a mass murderer or someone who's super evil and hadn't changed their ways the whole time. However, it literally does say, if you call on the name of Yahweh, you will be saved. There's no additional shit added on to that. It's just call on the name of Yahweh, you will be saved. Jesus is Yahweh. There's one mediator between Yahweh and man, God and man, and that's Jesus, his Christ. Yoshua, the guy whose name is Yahweh is salvation. Okay, he's salvation because Yeshua means he is salvation. Yoshua means Yahweh is salvation. Yeshua means he is salvation. And who is he? One moment. All right, my mom just asked me if she could turn on the AC. I live with my parents because people keep stealing from me, so it's. But why wouldn't I want to? I love my parents. Most people leave the house too early, and it's like, I think, I'd rather protect them. That's what I'm saying. I'd much rather. This is, by the way, this picture that almost looks exactly like Anja, like literally even has Anja's, my/Anja's nose. Um, This hung above my grandma's bed the entirety of her life. You don't think this is something that Yahweh has seen the whole time? If you haven't done anything wrong, I don't want you to die, but every indication is you've done something wrong. So this is my art, and this is what I get to, these are my trophies. Ooh, Monkey King, win. I mean, actually, I do win. And if they're gonna call me Monkey King, I'll roll with it. What? Every kid my fucking age wants to be Goku. It ain't it's like being Superman. It's Asian Superman. I mean, come on. All right. Well, that's it. That's all. Believe in Jesus. Believe in Yahweh. And if you're Jewish, acknowledge what I'm saying because you don't have Yahweh Sidkanu. But all right, have a blessed one. I'll catch you next time. Later. Yeah.